Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back aboard. We are in to the final night of action at the 2024 World Juniors as Team Canada awaits the United States this evening to determine Group A here at the 2025 World Juniors. Glad to have you aboard as we get set up for tonight's action. Obviously, the all-important matchup that we knew it would be here in this tournament comes down to this evening against the United States in what is a regular classic matchup, Canada-the U.S. on New Year's Eve. Give me a second to get a little bit of water down the old pipes here. And let's get set up for what will be an important game today. Obviously, the World Juniors group has been quite a topsy-turvy mess here for Team Canada, Team USA, and everybody involved. Right now, Team Finland obviously taking home the victory today, sitting up there with 8 points at the top of the group. For Team Canada, a possibility of 10 points to be had should they win in regulation today. Should they win in overtime, it will be 9 points. So basically, you want to try and finish with a win in regulation, leave no doubt about it, and go out there and figure out the rest of the group. Of course, a win for Finland would really basically screw over the U.S. as well, should the U.S. lose in regulation to Canada, as we look forward to tonight's matchup. For Team Canada, a possible 3-0-1-0 record would leave them with 10 points on the tournament and a record that is good enough to win Group A this year. So with that, I say welcome aboard as we get set up for what will be a 6 p.m. puck drop today between Team Canada and Team USA. So yeah, we're live about an hour and 10 minutes before things officially get underway this evening. So my apologies if things are going to take a little while to get to the play-by-play action. But I figured we best get live and best get going here with what will be a very fun game. Kind of get everybody amped up for what's going to be an exciting hockey game this evening. Team Canada, they are not your traditional Team Canada that we're so used to at this World Juniors where they're going to outscore you. They are a team this year that is going to out-defend and out-goaltend you throughout the game, and that's what they've done so far in the tournament against Finland. Even against Latvia, Team Canada did that pretty dang well, and also against, against Germany, we shut them out as well. So you got to figure for Team Canada tonight, the chances of doing something good against the American high-powered offense is maybe a bit of a question mark, but also maybe one of those situations where you find yourselves with an upper hand that for Team Canada we don't usually have at the World Juniors. Carter George gets the start for Team Canada by every metric that we understand today. And obviously for Team Canada, the points and everything that are so critical here tonight. A win and you win Group A. Obviously a loss and it gets really murky for Team Canada, because if you lose in overtime, you settle in there in a tie with Finland with 8 points. If you lose in regulation, you finish third in the group and have to face, I believe, Czechia over in Pool B play. So both teams going to settle in knowing what this evening's action means to them, knowing what winning Group A would mean, as I believe for Group B as well. I don't know what the standings are looking like over there. I believe for Group B, it is a battle between Slovakia and Switzerland for that final spot in the division. And I believe Switzerland won over Kazakhstan today, so it will be indeed Switzerland in the 4-hole, which would mean Canada faces Switzerland in action on Thursday. That, of course, to be determined yet, because Canada would have to win the hockey game for that to matter here this evening. So, Epiphany, good afternoon to you. I'm glad that you can make it by. And friends, of course, if you want to say hello in the chat, I'm always willing to say good day to you as well as we get set up for today's action between Canada and the United States. The United States, like I said, just a high-powered offense, a machine out there so far in this tournament. And obviously we'll see if Team Canada's goaltending and defensive strengths are able to slow them down here this evening. So What it came down to as well over there in the Spangler Cup Championship is the Straubing Tigers, who took down Team Canada, ultimately lose in the final to Gudrun. So it's kind of one of those situations where Team Canada kind of fell short here in winter action already in one international tournament, and the World Juniors trying not to fall short as well. So we'll see what our boys have for us here today in action against Team USA as we get going towards what should be a very good matchup here around 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Of course, over there in Ontario, it'll be an 8 p.m. Mountain or 8 p.m. Eastern Time puck drop this evening as we get towards the final few hours of 2024 as well, as we look forward to what should be a really good finish to the year here. A reminder as well, the Edmonton Oilers are in action this evening as well, so we might have a couple of checks over there on them here this evening as we go along. But for both teams today, it is just very much so for Team Canada win, and you are in. Last 5 New Year's Eve games so far between Canada and the US, dating back, the last one on 2017, the USA defeated Team Canada 3-1. Canada had won every other matchup before that by a score of a few goals, right? Team Canada had scored 3+ goals in each of the matchups. So tonight we'll see if that is the case. Ace Solomon, welcome aboard. Glad to see everybody aboard for tonight's action as we get set up for Team Canada and Team USA this evening. The United States, obviously, like I'm saying, friends, if there's one thing to worry about the United States this evening, it is their high-powered offense. It is their ability to put goals on the board. It is their ability to do things that Team Canada simply just cannot here throughout the first 3 games of this tournament. So stay tuned, see what happens this evening. Team Canada, though, with 2 shutouts on the tournament. Carter George has been unbeaten yet in the tournament in the action so far, and that is where Team Canada is resting their whole hopes, basically, is on the young Carter George to try and come through and make enough saves here in this tournament to keep us going the rest of the way through into the quarterfinals as the victors of Pool A. So we'll see if that ultimately is the case here this evening. Friends, we're closing in on 5 p.m., so just about an hour away from puck drop at this point between Canada and the United States. What you need to know as well is that the Winter Classic is going on as well. So that has been the big storyline of the day so far. Canada versus USA, though, for the 50th time at the World Junior Championship. Keep that in mind. This is a special occasion as well. And what you need to know is, I don't know if there's anything else, as I think Sweden is currently up 4-1 over Czechia at the end of the first period. Sweden said, no mercy, we're getting this done here in this tournament. Cole Iserman, the 13th forward for Team USA here this evening. Oliver Moore is up with Danny Nelson and Brody Zemer, as both teams trying to get things going here in this action today. Is there anything else we need to know about here? As looks like some Blackhawks legends taking in the hockey game today as well down there at the World Junior, or at the Winter Classic, sorry. And we go here to see if there's any other news. I don't think there really is. I don't think there's really any other news other than Sam O'Reilly's building a 4-point afternoon for the Edmonton Oilers down there in the OHL. You'll love to see it. That's good news for us. And we're just waiting for this Team Canada USA game to get underway. Obviously, is so far so good for Team Canada in the tournament in terms of defending and keeping the scores low. So is that going to be enough this evening against Team USA? That is the big question going into action this evening for both teams. I mean, Team USA specifically, goaltending is going to be at a premium. I mean, they surrendered the 4 goals against Germany, right? They ended up giving up a few there. They beat Latvia rather handily, but as well they just quite haven't had the tournament they were hoping for, as they lost 4-3 in overtime to Finland in their last game. So for right now, Team USA's biggest concern is their defense and goaltending, and for Team Canada, our biggest strength is our defense and goaltending, which seems a little backwards. I think historically Team USA has been known more so for their defense and goaltending at this tournament, and we've been known for the opposite. But this year it's going to be a battle for Team Canada to survive, hold on, and get the job done here at the World Juniors level. Obviously, a very different looking team for Team Canada, kind of taking its cues from Dave Cameron to be a lot more physically hard to play against in the defensive zone, and a lot more stingy goaltending wise as well, maybe compared to previous years. And of course for Team Canada, which is at the pro level now, struggling maybe with a goaltending issue, it's interesting to see this World Juniors team built on the backbone of strong goaltending and, yes, of course, strong defense as well. So right now it's 4-1 for Sweden over Czechia here so far in this first period, as Brian Mudryk, Craig Button get us ready for action here in this what is now going to be second period. Friends, give me a second here. Just going to step aside for a brief moment. We should be ready to keep rocking and rolling here as this live stream continues along here this afternoon. I do appreciate you tuning in, hanging out this afternoon. A great chance here on New Year's Eve to catch Team Canada versus Team USA in action at the World Juniors in a game that's going to be a really fun one, just based on the fact that Team USA, like I said, high-powered offense. Team Canada built on the backbone of strong goaltending. And which team comes out the better for it will win Group A here at the 2025 World Juniors as we transition into the new year and get set for the quarterfinals on, well, what would that be? That would be Thursday, as the quarterfinals go 10 a.m., 12:30, 3 p.m., and then 5:30 p.m. as well, as tonight's the one exception for Team Canada, as they go to a 6 p.m. puck drop here this evening. Okay, welcome aboard, and Dustin, welcome aboard as well. Friends, I will remind you right now, unfortunately, I cannot broadcast the live stream here on the channel simply because it is copyright material of TSN here in Canada, and as somebody who does YouTube on the frequency that I do, playing with copyright laws isn't exactly a good thing to do. So we'll just leave it alone here this evening, and I'll have your play-by-play. Obviously, I've kind of healed up from that nasal congestion, kind of sinus infection, whatever I was fighting off there throughout the holidays, and we should be good to do the play-by-play here this evening, as once again we learned another team, which would be the American squad this year, as we haven't had a chance, maybe near as much due to that nasal congestion and sinus infection, do as many live streams as maybe normally I would do. Basically, the implications for each team, win or lose, is for the United States, if they lose in regulation, they are in a battle against Finland, and I think Finland has the tiebreaker, having beat them in overtime, so therefore that would mean the U.S. finishes third. For the U.S., if they lose in overtime, they would then gain second. And for the U.S., if they win, whether it be in overtime or regulation, they gain first. And now, flip side that to Canada, the stats are the exact same way, because both Canada and the U.S. has the exact same record coming into tonight's action. So it's lose in regulation, you're third; lose in overtime, you're second; win in any fashion, you're first. That is the way it breaks down for Team Canada and Team USA here at the World Juniors this year on this New Year's Eve. So that's what you need to know. That's what the implications are coming into action this evening, is for Team Canada and Team USA. And very much so is a simple breakdown of, you basically just want to win in any fashion to secure first place in the group. That's ultimately what's going to get it done for us this evening. So we're continuing along here, friends. We've got the New Year's Eve events going out on Facebook right now, popping up and getting things going. So we're looking forward to a good after party here this evening once things wind up and wind down here on the live stream, after all is said and done. So we'll have a lot of fun here with New Year's Eve. Trust me on that as we get going here tonight between Canada and the USA. So waiting to see if there's any other news, as St. Louis seems to be taking it to Chicago to quite some extent here in this Winter Classic matchup. Other than that, I don't know if there's anything else to really know. I think we should be good for tonight's action, as Louis Domingue has been recalled from the Hartford Wolfpack for the New York Rangers following an injury to Igor Shesterkin. And there is nothing else to really know here in World Juniors action so far, as it looks like we maybe had a player end up in the bench at the Winter Classic. That's always a fun time when you see the guy go up and over the boards. But as we go this evening, friends, Canada versus USA, the matchup, again, if you're just tuning in, it's going to be for Canada, a game in which they have to defend and get the goaltending if they want to win. The offense is not there to be able to overpower the United States in action this evening. And for Team USA, it is just, again, simply the reverse of that. Play lights out offensively and just score as many goals as you possibly can against Canada, and that should be enough to beat the team here tonight. So that I would agree. Their ace is rooting for Canada, but thinking Team USA has the edge again. If the US finds a way to get up 3-0 or 3-1 by the end of the first period, I'm thinking it's lights out for Team Canada here tonight. I just don't think Canada has enough in the tank, defensively, offensively, goaltending wise, to survive being down multi-goals to the United States after the first period. I just don't think, given the offensive firepower by the States, where suddenly you have to start cheating for offense, or you have to start figuring out how to make something happen here in a game in which is desperately maybe getting out of control by the midway of the second period for Team Canada. They just don't have the firepower offensively to be able to outscore mistakes or outscore their problems in that regard. So I would assume, again, tonight is defense, goaltending. If it's absolutely spot on, locked in, Team Canada has the edge. But if it's not, it is going to be a problem here for Team Canada this evening. So we'll see how it all shakes out here as we continue along. Obviously, maybe the U.S. doesn't quite have as good of an offense as we're cracking it up to be, right? They've beaten Latvia 5-2. They beat Germany 10-4. And then lost to Finland 4-3. So maybe this offense, maybe not as high-powered as it seems. But again, when you look at the characters assembled on the four lines for the U.S. and kind of their blue line as well, there's a lot of offensive capability there. And it just seems to be a possibility where Team USA is going to be able to outscore Canada by a good mile if given the chance. And that's the other side too, right? If given the chance. Team Canada does have the ability to say, no, we're going to sit back, defend, and take our chances when we get them. Obviously, this is the World Juniors. This is a junior level of hockey. This is where mistakes happen. Pucks go over the glass in the defensive zone on some slight pressure. An extra hooking call happens once in a while or something like that. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is waiting for this one to get underway and trying to figure out exactly what we're going to see tonight. I don't know if we're going to see a Team Canada domination game on New Year's Eve, but I also don't think we're going to see Team USA quite walk away with it, maybe as it would have seemed after the Latvia game, right? That Germany game was definitely a get-right game for Team Canada in the way of showing the kind of defensive prowess and the goaltending that Carter George has brought to this tournament, right? We thought maybe after that after that Finland game, given the Latvia game, the goaltending and defense was maybe a one-off, but then you take into account the Germany game on top of it, and all of a sudden things start adding up here for Team Canada, where it's like, oh, maybe we actually have something a little bit different in the bag this year than we normally do at the World Juniors level year in, year out. So we're waiting for things to get underway here this evening, friends. Sweden and Czechia fighting for their Group B lives on top of on top of their group. Obviously, both teams at 3-0-0 so far. Czechia's got it to a 4-2 score here in the third period now. 16:51 to go in this third period as time winds down in this one. 32-27 the shots on goal for Team Sweden so far as they continue to try and close out Group B as the only undefeated team in the tournament. Obviously, Czechia has been pretty solid of a team here this year as well. Did not expect them to be near as solid of a unit as they are, but obviously with the team that they were last year is carried over to the team this year, and things continue to progress for them here this year. So hopefully for Team Canada, Team Canada can find a way to definitely just, again, simplify the game, shoot the pucks when you should, go out there and a little bit of a shooting mentality right off the hop. Even if you're getting stonewalled by the goaltending, don't get frustrated. Just go out there, shoot the puck, make sure the goalie's making some saves, and eventually as you work it throughout the game, things will come. That's the other side for these things. It's just not like Team Canada's an untalented, non-goal scoring team. It's just they're a little bit more of a hard-working, defense-first team that, if you work hard for your goals, they will come. But you still, actually, as you do in any level of hockey, have to work for your goals a little bit out there as well. So we'll see kind of how everything plays out, but for Team Canada here in this one, it is definitely going to be relying on the backbone of goaltending and defense. That's all I'll tell you, friends. If you're just tuning in now, thank you so much for being aboard here this afternoon. Appreciate you hanging out. We are about 50 minutes away from puck drop in this evening's action. Puck drop is scheduled for 8 Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So we'll see kind of when that all shakes out here in this World Juniors New Year's Eve nightcap, right? That's, I guess, how it breaks down as well. It's the nightcap here in Ottawa. It's the final game of the round robin tournament for the 2025 World Juniors, as both teams look to try and gain that edge here in Group A, where ultimately how it breaks down, if you are just tuning in, Team Canada, a loss in regulation throws them to third in the division. A loss in overtime puts you second, and a win puts you first. That's how it breaks down for both Team Canada and Team USA here in today's hockey game. Is kind of a situation where both teams are a little desperate for just the straight up win. A win of any variety, whether it be overtime or regulation, is enough to net you the group victory. Anything other than that sets you a couple of different ways. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes here this evening, friends, but we're waiting for today's action to get underway here between Team Canada and Team USA, as we are just now, like I said, inside 50 minutes or so to go until puck drop this evening. So we'll see what the case is as we go along here this evening. But obviously for Team Canada, as well as Dan's bringing up a good point there, is we'll see what the physicality is like out of this game. As I think biggest thing for Team Canada is they have to be smart with the physicality here tonight. Is it might be one of those games where it's easy to go out there and run around a little bit because the emotions are running a little high because it's the U.S. squad. But at the same rate, too, Team Canada already losing Matthew Schaefer in this tournament. Just really cannot afford to get banged up either, so they're going to have to pick and choose their spots to some degree. As long as the USA isn't pushing you into that game, I don't know if Team Canada is necessarily going to have to go out there and get into it early and often. I would love to see them get into it early and often, but again, any other injury to this Team Canada squad is going to prove costly as the rest of the rounds carry on. Team Canada, like I said, already losing Matthew Schaefer. That's the big thing, right? Is you've lost Matthew Schaefer for the tournament. Matthew Schaefer is actually going to miss most of his draft year, so that's a little bit of an issue for him, as well, as it was supposed to be a big tournament that was going to be kind of his coming out scene for his draft year, and that is not going to be the case this year for Matthew Schaefer, as things unfortunately will take a back seat for a little bit here. 14:30 to go in this third period. Sweden, Czechia winding down at TD Place, or whatever they call it, in Ottawa as well. Yeah, that will be a big that'll be a big thing here for Team Canada to see what happens in terms of the physicality and the injury front as well. But right now, friends, we're waiting for this one to get underway, as both teams obviously looking forward to a New Year's Eve matchup that could very well net them the top of the group, right? No matter what, whoever wins the group, but whoever, ends up kind of going from there, and hopefully finding a way to net a oh, actually, hold on, I might have some math wrong here. Give me a second here. Just thought of something. Standings, where are we at? As Finland's at, if they won today, which I think they did, Finland won 3-0 against Latvia, so they've got actually 8 points. So yeah, unfortunately, that's what I'm thinking is, and a regulation, there it is. So the U.S. would finish third, actually, I think, even if they lost in overtime to Team Canada. Whereas for Canada, is if they lose in overtime, they finish second. If they lose in regulation, they finish third. That's where we got things going. So keep that in mind right there. Sorry, I just remembered a little bit of math there would get things going. So hopefully Team Canada can just find a way to straight up win and get the job done here today. So we'll see what happens here ultimately, friends. I am going to take a quick second to run upstairs, make sure all's good with the other parts of the plans for the evening. I'll be right back, and we'll get back to some more pregame talk here in a matter of moments. All right, let's do this, friends. Sorry, apologies. Just found a little tasty snack upstairs while I was hanging out trying to get ready for this next little bit. Just give me a second here as well. We're going to play with the lighting a little bit and see what we can do to get that to look a little bit more natural. There we go. The skin tones and the tones looking a little bit more correct here as we continue along on the broadcast, friends. Thank you for standing by. I don't know what's going on with the scoreboard tonight. For some reason, something's a little wonky with TSN's website. It's kind of one of those things where you're at the mercy of whatever's going on there, and for some reason whatever's going on there is there's a big old ad in the middle of the way, and kind of putting the Team Canada logo and stuff. I can show you here. I can move it there a lot, but it ultimately doesn't do any good for us, as there's no more page to go off of there, unfortunately, for us here this evening. So we will have to maybe fight through a lackluster scoreboard here tonight. Remind me if you haven't heard the score to get you going here this evening. But right now for Team Czechia and Sweden, things are rolling. A 4-2 score, 12:38 to go in this third period to play. Sweden on the power play, trying to rack up some shots here. Maybe that fifth goal that might indeed seal the deal against Czechia in this third period to play with less than 13 to go. But obviously we continue to await Team Canada and Team USA here this evening, as both teams settling in for what should be a very good hockey game this evening. One would figure for Team Canada we are in for a defensive and goaltending clinic. That's really the only way Team Canada's got a shot at winning tonight's action. John, Tanya, welcome aboard. As it will be interesting from a perspective of a Canadian fan to sit here and watch Team Canada try to out-goaltend and out-defend Team USA. That's not something we're usually used to as Canadian fans here on a New Year's Eve matchup, but that is the case here in this now New Year's Eve matchup against Team USA in, well, what is the 2025 edition of the tournament. And for Team Canada, it was by design. That's the other thing too. Dave Cameron specifically chose this team based on its defensive ability and its ability to keep shots off the board and keep goals off the board. And that's kind of what this whole idea around this squad was built behind. And obviously that's why you've got guys sitting at home, according to Team Canada anyways, based on the math that's been done by the reporters. So we'll see if that holds true here in this game against the US, where Team Canada finds a way to get the job done here against Team USA. Team Canada's obviously got a huge opportunity if they win the group, right? They get that easy quarterfinal game against Switzerland. Now, we've seen what easy games have looked like for Team Canada in this World Juniors. Now, I don't think we can fully discredit Latvia near as much as maybe we did earlier in the tournament, but you get what I'm saying. Is Switzerland, again, should be a matchup Team Canada should be able to move past and get into the semifinals at least. Semifinals go on Saturday. The final is on Sunday, so it should be good action as we get into the weekend. Obviously, too, I believe we've got the ability to go on down to Olds for a AA tournament in town there on Saturday as well. So there's a whole bunch of good hockey action going locally here in Alberta on the weekend as well, and I'm looking forward to being down in Olds hopefully Saturday afternoon for some good action here tonight. So yeah, it'll be what it is as Saturday comes up on us, but obviously we're just still waiting for this game to get underway here around 6 p.m. friends tonight. That's what you need to know, right? I think in previous evenings so far in the tournament, it's been a 5:30 puck drop here for Team Canada, and instead tonight it will be a 6 p.m. puck drop, so sometime just shortly after 6 p.m. As Samantha, when it comes to the hockey game, this will just be me talking about the hockey game. Unfortunately for the World Juniors, when you're a streamer in Canada, TSN holds the copyright rights to the TSN feed, which means I cannot broadcast the game for you. and that means we just kind of make of it what we can at the end of the day. So we'll see, obviously, what we're able to make of it here this evening. As we're going to see Czechia and Sweden, obviously, right now, still fighting in that third period midway through. Sweden holds a 4-2 lead here in this one right now. So we're still waiting for this one to get underway. If you're just tuning in, puck drop is 6 p.m. I know I'm repeating myself here, but friends, when I see about 150 of you coming through the turnstiles every minute, I got to make sure I'm at least staying on top of things to some degree here this evening. Canada, USA, 6 p.m. puck drop. Finland beat the U.S. last game out 4-3 in overtime. Canada beat Germany 3-0, and I believe so far in the tournament have won hold on here. Let's go actually do the standings here. Let's go double check this here, shall we? They have a goal differential of 9 goals for and 3 goals against so far in the tournament. So Team Canada has been on it throughout this tournament thus far. And really, you look at the U.S., yeah, I guess they have 18 goals for, 9 goals against. But coming through 3 games, Team USA averaging 3 goals against per game. Team Canada averaging a goal against per game and 3 goals per game, as opposed to 18 goals for the United States side so far in this tournament, averaging 6 goals per game. So we'll see. We'll see if this can get going here this evening. As 9:37 to go here in this third period between Sweden and Czechia, as we wait for action to get underway. I know I'm expecting an influx of y'all here coming through the turnstiles right at about 5:30. That has been tournament time so far this tournament here, but this New Year's Eve matchup gets a late start, I guess you could say, as we kind of run into that Edmonton Oilers game a bit, as well as that Oilers game will be a huge game for us, as the Oilers, well, last time out, a couple of bad games in Southern California, costing the Oilers about 2 to 3 points in the standings, where they really should have had, I don't know, somewhere like 4 points instead of 1, right? It was a really tough watch as an Edmonton Oilers fan on that road trip through Southern California. Again, the Moms trip should have been a much better result for the Edmonton Oilers, for the team, but it just is what it is at this point, and I guess we'll survive as we go along here into New Year's Eve, which is always usually a dandy for the Oilers, usually a really classic matchup in which the Oilers have some kind of drama in the hockey game. I think back a few years ago against the Jets, the Rangers the year before that, all around all those games, there was a lot of fun to be had as the Edmonton Oilers kind of battled through some adversity in both games, blowing some leads, and obviously bad goaltending, good goaltending, and everything in between. So we're seeing here is Sid, I believe Carter George is starting here in this action this evening, as we do have goaltending and defense as the backbone of Team Canada this year. It'll be kind of imperative that the Oilers kind of get the Oilers. See, I knew I do this every game, because I always end up talking about the Oilers at some point, and then I start mixing up Canada and the Oilers. No, it's imperative that Canada gets off to a good start, plays mistake-free hockey, and just really allows themselves to settle into the game well and get the job done from start to finish. Because if Team Canada does not have a 60-minute effort today, Team Canada is not going to win today's hockey game. That is pure and simple facts as well. Team Canada's got to come out of the gates here in action today and absolutely dummy an effort against the U.S., because if at all they decide to take a minute or a shift off here tonight, the U.S., as David's saying there in the chat, will make you pay with the speed. And again, friends, I will also remind you, anything politics, anything over the line in the chat usually just ends up getting deleted as well. I just don't like having that stuff kind of flare up here on a live stream about hockey. So we have a little bit of pushing and shoving between Czechia. Looks like somebody got thrown into the end wall there with 7:53 to go. Time still winding down here on Czechia as they're down 4-2 here against Sweden, and it's going to be a tough climb here at the end of the hockey game if they're going to try and do it, as it's going to be kind of one of those battles as it looks like Czechia cross-checked one of the Sweden players about 3 feet off the boards and sent him flying. Kind of one of those things he maybe would have been able to brace himself a bit, but kind of caught himself at the end as he hit the ice. As the referees chatting things over, trying to make sure they get this call right here as Fibgar sits in the box for Czechia as we, again, like I said, get closer and closer to action here tonight between Team Canada and Team USA here at the World Juniors as we wind towards what should be a great finish to the preliminary tournament round as Fibgar goes to the box for cross-checking. So just a 2-minute minor for him on that play as we close in on 5:30 now, friends. Only half an hour to go until game time here this evening as we get action underway between Canada and USA a half hour later than normal this evening. I know kind of the tournament normal has been 5:30, 5:45, whatever you want to say, whereas tonight the tournament will get underway for Team Canada at 6:05, somewhere in there, as that was a late change. I know it was kind of on the schedule beforehand, but TSN getting the news out late today. I don't think James Duthie had that out until about 1 o'clock this afternoon, so kind of a situation where for some fans you might be wondering why isn't the game on yet, what's going on here, but unfortunately the Canadian game will be starting half an hour later than normal. And what I will also tell you, friends, if you're just tuning in here this evening, you cannot watch the game here, but if you're in Canada, tsn.ca/live, it's a $19.99 for a month membership. It's well worth your time. If Team Canada goes on to play 3 more games in the tournament, that's 4 games for $20, $5 a game. I bet you can't even watch your kids' Junior B hockey game for $5 a game anymore. So that'd be what I'd tell you right here tonight is definitely just go over to tsn.ca/live if you're in Canada, sign up for the membership for the month, and you know what, maybe catch the football game on Sunday morning as you wait for Canada versus whoever in the finals, and then maybe as well, you know, catch a lacrosse game on a Tuesday night or something when there's something going on like that on TSN as well. And obviously if you're in the Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators, or Montreal Canadiens, heck, even Winnipeg Jets coverage zones on TSN, you may as well be able to catch a hockey game for them on there. So that'll be what I caution you here this evening as we get towards puck drop between Canada and the USA. It is 5:30 now. Like I said, I expected a couple of you to come through the turnstiles at this moment. We are still waiting for the game to get underway. It gets underway at 6 p.m. 5:50 the time left in the Canadian pre-game game, I guess you'd say, where Czechia is down 2 goals to Sweden. Both teams trying to battle for top of Group B, and obviously it's going to be a big time battle there for Group B because kind of this game tonight in Group A also determines how things will shake out for these two teams in the quarterfinals, as you got to figure here as well for Team Sweden is if they finish first, yeah, they kind of get, I believe, Latvia out of the mix, but for Czechia, if they end up losing this game, they have a mixed bag. They could face anyone from Finland to the US to Canada entering action here tonight. Kenny, welcome aboard as we get closer and closer now inside the last 5 minutes before action gets underway between Czechia and Sweden. 4-2 things getting going here this evening as we have a stoppage in play. And we will have Canada USA at the top of the clock. Keep that in mind, friends, as we are waiting for things to get underway here this evening. We will be waiting for a little bit extra, half an hour time delay here tonight on TSN, just simply to get things going through this little bit of the preliminary round here on New Year's Eve. I'm not sure why they chose to push things back a half hour, but we'll take it. We'll we'll enjoy the fact that we get later hockey this evening and we get to hang out and enjoy things a little bit here on a Tuesday night that is a New Year's evening as well. That's something that we don't usually get as a midweek New Year's Eve, right? As I think my one buddy at work there put it a good way, is even if it's New Year's Eve on a Thursday, it kind of has that different feel to it. New Year's Eve on a Thursday, it kind of plays out like a long weekend, which obviously it does. You leave work a half an hour or half day early on Thursday, then you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday to rest up. Whereas today it's you party hard on this evening and then you have tomorrow to rest up and actually do stuff because it's also kind of middle of the week. And then all of a sudden you got to go back to work on Thursday and close out the week for 2 days. Some people I know have been off since the 20th or the 22nd of the month or whatever it was, 21st, and will not go back to work until January 6th. But for the working folk in the trades and stuff like that, it has been a messed up schedule here this year at Christmas. Some people worked the 27th, some people didn't. There were some calls maybe up in northern Alberta to get to, and here in southern Alberta a rather quiet weekend all told, just because of nice warm weather throughout the Christmas season so far this year. So obviously we'll see what Thursday, Friday brings here as we get back to work at the shop on Thursday. But a good day to close out the year here. Was a fun way to just go to work and sit there and enjoy a good day, which not much happened, I guess you could say. So we'll see what tonight brings, and then we'll see what tomorrow's rest and relaxation, I should say, brings for us as we get towards ultimately the new year here at midnight this evening. Looking forward to counting down with some good friends here tonight. Good New Year's Eve party down there in town here tonight as we draw towards midnight. Looking forward to that. Obviously tonight though we have to get through things for this evening's hockey game here at 6 p.m. 3:53 to go in this third period of play between Sweden and Czechia, friends. And ultimately it's been a good game for both Sweden and Czechia in this one so far. They battled hard and kept this game in a tight situation late, and you've seen some dramatics so far in the tournament here at least to get going. So we'll see if Sweden can just power through, find that final goal here to get things done in tonight's tournament action and win the group straight up, or if Czechia is going to try and complicate matters here by winning and stealing the group from Sweden. Both teams 3-0. We are waiting for Canada versus the USA, but this game obviously happening beforehand as we wait for this one to finish up here this evening. 3:45, like I said, to go here in this third period of play between both squads. Friends, thanks for being aboard. Appreciate you hanging out here this evening. It's going to be a fun one here between Canada and the USA, as we should be set for action just shortly after 6 p.m. this evening. I'm going to take a quick moment again here, friends, just to tabulate things, and then I will go upstairs and step aside for another second, go grab a quick snack, keep the body filled up as we get towards ultimately game action this evening. Again, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around for more World Juniors action, and of course the Edmonton Oilers as well. Why not? Let's go Oilers, right? All right, my apologies. A refilled water bottle and a quick check on traffic. We are good to go. It looks like it's snowing out there right now. That's an unfortunate situation. Having to drive on the highways tonight, following tonight's action again, friends. If you are traveling around out there, be safe. Make sure you get home safe. Make sure you're not drinking and driving. And if you're anywhere where there's a ride sharing service that's donation based here tonight for community group initiatives, make sure to use that as an option. Again, what I will tell you, Operation Red Nose in Cold Lake, Alberta going strong here for another year. Definitely if you're in Cold Lake tonight, make sure to use that. Very passionate about the Operation Red Nose program, and know a lot of people involved who do a lot of good work year in, year out to make that happen. So again, Uber's a great option, but if there's a community group doing kind of the same idea here this evening in your town, in your city, make sure to use them. The money goes towards good community groups who are making a difference in your town or city, so make sure you get that done here on a night in which I'm sure a lot of us, by the end of things here this evening, won't be able to either leave the house because you've had too many beverages watching the game, or get back to the house because you've had, same idea, too many beverages watching the game. The Edmonton Oilers also play starting at 7 o'clock tonight, so keep that in mind if you are an Oilers fan tuning in here on the channel as a regular Dolynny TV viewer. Appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what the Oilers have in store for us here this evening. But for Team Canada this evening, if you're asking me what's kind of the key to the game this evening, it will be defense and goaltending. Again, Team Canada has to win every shift, and by that I mean mistake-free hockey. They have to go out there and not get beat in their own zone. They have to make sure they're not getting beat in the neutral zone, and if they're going to lose a battle, lose it behind the U.S. net with men in support. Strength in numbers back the other way as Czechia takes a timeout here with 46 seconds to go here in this third period, as both teams warming up here for Team Canada right now, as it is going to be a big time hockey game between Canada and the US here this evening. It determines the group, and that is the big question, is who is going to move over to number one position in the group and who is going to take second and third, because Finland can still factor in and take home second place should Canada or the US lose in regulation. Again, if Team Canada loses in overtime, they take second, Finland takes third. If Team USA loses in overtime, they take third, Finland takes second. At least that is the way the math appears to math here this evening on the group charts on the tsn.ca website. So we'll stay tuned and ultimately see what the boys on the panel and the group for TSN have to say about things, but that is at least what it looks like at this point, as we have 46 seconds to go here in this third period between Czechia and Sweden. It looks like this game is going to come to a conclusion with Sweden winning the hockey game 4-2. Czechia's got the empty net here with 30 seconds. I guess focus up here as we're going to try and see what they can do here in this final half a minute of the hockey game. Both teams battling here along the near side wall. 20 seconds to go, digging in there. Czechia trying to get that puck free back to the blue line. They're going to push it near side point as they'll down the wall. The shot coming from the outside goes off a body wide into the far side corner, back to the blue line. Near side pass for Czechia goes wide. Sweden cuts it off, wrapping it around the boards. That will do it. Sweden wins Group B here at the World Juniors to close out their preliminary action over there on the Group B side, and that will set up Sweden 1, Czechia 2 in the group, as that was a hard-fought battle to the very end for both Sweden and Czechia here in group play, and that will, like I said, set up what will be an interesting finish now in the quarterfinals, as Czechia will take on Who Knows, and Sweden will take on the winner of, the fourth place team, which is Latvia. So Czechia will take on Who Knows based on the outcome that is the loss this evening for Canada or the US. Basically, whatever the outcome of the loss is here determines who faces Czechia. Right now, they've got 3 possible opponents to face them there in this quarterfinal. Canada will, if they win, take on Switzerland. Same for the US if everything all works out for them. So that's where we're currently waiting for things to get underway here this evening. We're going to see what happens here for Team Canada against the U.S. in a defense goaltending matchup, right? That's the big question, is the defense and goaltending is the big strength of Team Canada this year, and how that all plays out will be very, very interesting. Outside guy, your roommate from university, is the Team Canada lead therapist. Well, that is a very interesting go there, as well as Team Canada made up of a bunch of different components. I didn't know that Brent Seabrook was part of the management group this year. I figured that they had moved into some newer guys running the team, but I did not know that Brent Seabrook was part. They had him on an interview earlier during the intermission of Czechia versus Sweden. So some new guys, some former Team Canada glory guys kind of taking over the reins here for Team Canada here at the World Juniors, as we wait for the best players of the game between Czechia and Sweden. And again, friends, if you are just tuning in this evening wondering if I can show you the actual game, I cannot. TSN here in Canada owns the copyright to live streaming the World Juniors, therefore meaning that anyone on YouTube like myself that decides to do it gets in a lot of trouble, especially given the rules I operate with YouTube already. So that's where we find ourselves unable to live stream it, but I'll carry you through here this one with the play-by-play if possible. As outside guide number one Google pick for streaming the game. Well, that is interesting to note, because at this point so far in the tournament, I have maybe gotten 10% of all views off the live stream as a result of Google searches. So just to tell you a little interesting fact behind the scenes is Google has not exactly been the driving factor for the live streams here tonight. But yeah, unfortunately, I cannot show the game for you. It does pain me. Again, if I could live stream the game, you imagine how many viewers I'd have along for the ride. My goodness. But again, the fact that it is copyright, again, that's why you really can't find a live stream this year. Is TSN, similar to Sportsnet and the NHL game coverage, have really broke down on making sure nobody's illegally live streaming their games on YouTube. Just again, owning that, because every single ad dollar is so important in Canadian broadcast media right now that they really have to go out there and get that going for you. So tsn.ca/live is where you will find the game this evening. It's a $19.99 monthly fee to sign up for TSN. Again, when you break it down, if you've got a kid in minor hockey playing AA or anything above where somebody's streaming those on a streaming service for you, you're paying less than $5 a game for one of those games. You're doing good. Whereas tonight, if you live stream Canada versus US, the quarterfinals, the semis, and of course as well the gold medal game, depending on how you break it down, if Canada's in there or not, it doesn't really matter. But if you do go through all those games and at all catch another game, it is less than $5 a game to get you through to the gold medal game. There's NFL football on TSN as well. There's NLL lacrosse. So again, if you're a real true Canadian who loves good sports, you might catch a lacrosse game or two a season. Again, maybe specifically in the month of January. And if you are inside the Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators, or Montreal Canadiens viewing regions, you would also be able to catch your team's games on TSN there as well. So keep that in mind. A month's subscription to TSN could just turn into your new favorite streaming service for sports. Just saying. As we are currently waiting to get this one underway. It's 5:48 here this evening. Again, if you're tuning in wondering, hey, I thought the game was supposed to be live. I don't care that you're not streaming, but I thought, like, what's the score? What's going on here? Team Canada will not drop the puck until after 6 p.m. this evening. They moved back puck drop here this evening on New Year's Eve, maybe to give you a little bit something more to party on, right? Like let you get off work a little bit, let you enjoy things a little bit here in the afternoon, and then allow you to get to hockey here at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, kind of maybe out east, a countdown to the new year, where you just get out of the Canadian Tire Center and get going there with what should be a fun hockey game tonight, and then a fun New Year's Eve celebration. We are closing in on puck drop here this evening, friends. Quaddy, welcome aboard. There is an overlap between Canada and the Edmonton Oilers this evening. It really is a sucky situation here for us Edmonton Oilers fans tonight, I'll tell you that. That again said, the Edmonton Oilers can't use that as an excuse that Team Canada is playing, because what has to happen here is Team Canada wins tonight, they win the group, but the Edmonton Oilers also desperately need a victory to get back on the right side of things following a very poor effort against both LA and the Anaheim Ducks. I'll drive that home, friends. If you are new to the channel and you've enjoyed the hockey talk so far, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button here. Simply, the World Juniors are a limited time only thing, but what I will tell you is the Edmonton Oilers are a 365 dealio here on the channel, and I'd love to have you aboard for coverage of the Oilers the rest of the way home this year. It's a great bandwagon to jump on if you're looking for an NHL team and you're undecided this year. The Oilers, they give you a lot to talk about year in, year out, and they have gave us a lot to talk about so far this year. So looking forward to seeing what the Edmonton Oilers can bring for us the rest of the year. But obviously tonight it's Team Canada versus Team USA, and that is where our focus is at. Again, I guess to say, if it was an easy decision, I probably wouldn't be live streaming the Edmonton Oilers game tonight. Probably be going out enjoying New Year's activities, but tonight sitting in the basement avoiding the friends for at least the start of New Year's Eve, just so as we can cover off tonight's World Juniors action. We are, like I said, 9 minutes or so away from things getting going, as Canadians versus Americans means side bets for the Senators as they're watching the game tonight. Thomas Chabot and Brady Tkachuk getting things going here this evening, as obviously Brady Tkachuk, a big-time member of that Team USA squad for the Four Nations, and that's what we're looking forward to here this evening. So we've got Canada, the USA in World Juniors action, but now all of a sudden you get Canada versus USA at the NHL level at the Four Nations Cup when it comes to February. That's going to be an absolute blast to be able to get things going there, and I'm looking forward to it. JJ, the St. Louis Chicago outdoor game was a bust. Yeah, it was a tough go for both teams, right? St. Louis kind of in the middle of the mush, I guess you could say, in the Western Conference, and then Chicago near dead last in the NHL. Not like there was ever going to really be much to it, and again, with Chicago not winning that hockey game, not much that the faithful at Wrigley Field is really going to be up for. And I can only imagine, that's the other side to this, I can only imagine what tickets we're going for at Wrigley Field, right? Wrigley Field, obviously a historic stadium in the MLB and a pricey place to be to begin with, and to go out there and throw that away, that is a tough one indeed. So I don't want to even find out. But Quaddy, when it comes to Dylan Holloway, he keeps scoring again. Dylan Holloway getting power play time in St. Louis, getting top 6 minutes. He hasn't been injured yet to an extreme extent this year. All things that weren't happening in Edmonton last year and likely weren't going to happen here in Edmonton this year. That's the tough part. Dylan Holloway definitely deserved a better fate as a member of the Edmonton Oilers, but unfortunately, basically there is to some extent as well a little bit of, you do have to make sure you kind of minimize your risks, and the Oilers minimize their risks, saying, Dill, we'll sign you to a $1.3 million contract for a year, come win a cup, and then we'll figure it out after that. And he wasn't willing to do that. He wanted the money and he left, right? That's fair enough. That's where it's at. So it is a little bit of a tough situation there in that aspect for this one. So friends, again, if you are just tuning in wondering where the game is at, the game A will not start until past 6 o'clock, and B, TSN owns the copyrights to the World Juniors here in Canada. So unfortunately for myself personally, I cannot live stream the game for you as it's a copyright legality issue if I do, and TSN is not playing around this year with with the copyrights. They are not messing around. There's a reason why this year, unlike any other year, you cannot find a live stream on YouTube. It is because TSN and the NHL Network have cracked down on the illegal streams, and they are going out there absolutely running around and stopping things from happening this year on the streaming platforms that do exist for free. So that is where we sit tonight, friends. I'll have your play-by-play as we get set for action this evening between Team Canada and Team USA in about 10 to 15 minutes time. Appreciate you hanging out with me here on the pregame. If you've been along and heard me repeat myself a few hundred times over, so it seems like at this point, but we are waiting for tonight's action to get underway here just shortly after, like I said, that 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I had 8 p.m. go off in my brain. I'm like, no, I just said 6. Let's clarify why I am saying 6 p.m. For some of you out east, again, if you're in Canada this evening, friends, what you need to do is go to tsn.ca/live. That's the big thing, tsn.ca/live. If you're in Canada, tune in to TSN, buy the month subscription. It's $19.99. Basically, you get tonight's game, you get the quarterfinals, you get the semifinals, and you get the gold medal game, which means you can possibly watch 4, 5. So tonight, quarters, 5, and then you get the semis, 7, and you get the gold medal final, 8. That's 8 games for the price of $250 per game. So there is a possibility that you really cut it down. I'm going to tell you, if you have a niece, nephew, brother, cousin, somebody playing some kind of level of hockey where you have to pay to watch them play on a streaming service, you are not paying less than $5 a game. So $250 a game to watch the World Juniors the rest of the way home ain't going to be a bad price to pay. So that's what I would tell you here this evening. Definitely get over to tsn.ca if you're in Canada and sign up for a streaming membership for the rest of the month. 30-day free 30-day membership will get you going. And again, for those of you watching back home, unfortunately something is very much so messed up with the scoreboard here on TSN tonight. Something seems to be a little bit wrong with it in terms of the cropping, so unfortunately we may have to go with a bad scoreboard here tonight, as I just can't quite seem to get it to do what it should normally for me. As we'll see if we can get this to go to here, and there we go. Actually, there we go. How about that? We just solved our own issues. Bang! Technology, it works when you make it work, just like that. There we go. Canada versus US, 6 p.m. puck drop shortly after. Partly welcome aboard, Daniel. Welcome aboard again, everybody telling me what to drink here tonight. I'll stick with the water. A guy's got to drive, and a guy's got a 4+ year sober streak going here that he doesn't feel like throwing away quite yet. Maybe next year. 2025 might be the year, but for right now, we're going to close out 2024 clean and sober for yet another year in a row. So we're going to get going here in a minute as Canada, USA, 6 p.m. puck drop. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard here this evening. Do appreciate you tuning in, hanging out with me here tonight. We are now an hour and 10 minutes into the live stream this evening. It's been a lot of pregame amble, and I guess now that we've covered off pretty much everything we can about the streaming details, what you need to know about tonight's game, quick cold notes based on what we talked about earlier tonight is for Team Canada. Their effort, their victory tonight will be led by goaltending and defense. That is the only way in which they win tonight's matchup, never taking a shift off, winning as many to all battles as they can tonight, and obviously as well playing a full 60 minutes. If there is any let up at all this evening for Team Canada, Team USA has this hockey game in the bag. Simply, Team Canada has the offense to win tonight's hockey game. They don't have the offense to beat the US in any sort of a shootout beyond a 3-2, 4-3 score. Again, for Canada tonight, 4-3 would even be pushing probably to overtime. So we'll see if they can figure it out here this evening against the US squad. I know Germany ultimately did score a total of 4 goals against the US, so it's not like Canada shouldn't be able to score tons of goals against the US. It's just, again, when you're also trying to defend and play mistake-free hockey, Germany allowed 10 goals against the US in result of scoring those 4. So keep that in mind as we go along here tonight. The fact that Team Canada has to be defensively conscious the whole game, every single shift. As soon as you jump over those boards, you got to be thinking, oh boy, what can I do to stop the American attack from ending up in our back of our net, compared to going out there and normally as Team Canada thinking, what can I do on this shift to score a goal and change this hockey game? So we stay waiting for this one to get underway here, friends. It is just about 6 p.m. now here on the live stream. Glad to have you aboard Dolynny TV here with your live stream call of tonight's action. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the game this evening. It is copyright material of the TSN Sports here in Canada, which means they've been clamping down on any of the broadcasting illegally happening here on YouTube. So we will not have a live stream for you, but we will have the play-by-play as we go through action here tonight on the channel. So glad to have you along this evening, as Team Canada versus Team USA is always the game of the night. That's the big thing, is this is a storied rivalry for years and years and years here in pro sports and at the amateur level as well. And the big thing here for Team Canada tonight, they have got the group on the line. That's the thing. Team Canada, Team USA, both teams in it to win it tonight. Whoever wins this evening's matchup wins the group between these two teams, and then ultimately whatever happens from there kind of shakes out the rest of the group. So we'll see what happens, as we've got some highlights of Team Canada past, as we've got Canada versus the USA on New Year's Eve, I believe, back in 2008. Dustin Tokarski in net back then, and the whole bunch of guys on the bench from years prior over the course of Team Canada's history. Pat Quinn on the bench as well. As we get towards puck drop here, 6:01 on the clock now, friends. We are within the last 10 minutes before game gets going here this evening, and we should be ready to rock and roll, as John Tavares with a big time celebration there at the side of the net. It's crazy how much the hockey really hasn't changed since then. It's crazy just how much the hockey has changed since then, as the World Juniors have always had a distinct similar style to them throughout the years. And you kind of see here where Team Canada ends up with the empty netter in that hockey game and seals it home. The crowd, the absolute everything. That was a whole turn kind of sports as well, with high definition coming into play as well. So kind of seeing all these highlights, all the old names at the World Junior level. It's crazy to think how far we've come with some of these now NHL pros over the course of their career. I mean, you've got Dustin Tokarski there starting a hockey game, I believe, for the Carolina Hurricanes. His first start in over 16, 18 months or something the other day. It is crazy where we've ended up with some of these pro guys since their time at the World Juniors in 2008. Friends, welcome aboard here this evening. If you are just tuning in, glad to have you along this evening as we get towards puck drop here between Canada and the United States. We are closing in on the 6:10 expected puck drop this evening, as both teams getting set for what could be the ultimate group deciding game for them here at this year's World Juniors. Obviously, if Team Canada wins, they win the group. Obviously, if Team USA wins the group, they have to win as well. So both teams in tough to try and find a victory here tonight, as both teams are going to get going, as we've got the New Year's celebrations going on all across the world, all the fireworks from all across things, as we get set for tonight's New Year's Eve matchup to close out 2024, a hockey schedule, friends, which I will be glad to catch the final bit of the Oilers game, as obviously for the Edmonton Oilers here in this hockey game, I mean, they've got the Utah Hockey Club tonight to close out 2024, what has been an absolutely unbelievable season, well, year really, for the Edmonton Oilers. So tonight, a little bit of closing a couple of chapters here as the hockey world turns to the quarterfinal and the medal rounds action at the World Juniors. And for the Edmonton Oilers, they go into 2025 with only one goal in mind, chasing down the Stanley Cup. We've got a countdown to puck drop. We got 5 minutes and a half to go here in tonight's countdown to puck drop, friends. A 6 p.m. time to puck drop as Gord Miller and Mike Johnson take us through the final few minutes before we get to puck drop here this evening between Canada and the USA. Glad to have you aboard, like I said a few moments ago. tsn.ca/live here in Canada has the game available for you. You will have to pay a $19.99 per month membership. Again, it's one and done if you really want it to be, and that's where I would tell you, sign up for the TSN membership, get it going. Once you break down how many medal round games, you can watch all 4 quarterfinal games, all 2 semifinal games, and then the gold medal game plus tonight's action. That is a grand total of 8 games. That means your package costs you $250 per game. I will tell you, if you can find a way to watch the World Juniors for $250 per game, you are doing very, very well. And with that tsn.ca package, you would be doing very, very well. So we're staying tuned here, friends. Just about set for action here tonight. I will take a moment to just quickly re-up some settings here in the background of the stream to try and get you a little bit quicker of a live stream, a little bit more of a smoother streaming experience, so as you don't end up as far behind as you might some other nights. As Finland currently atop the group with 8 points. Again, if Team USA loses in overtime, they will take 3rd place in the division. If they lose in regulation, same thing, whereas Canada, if they lose in overtime, take 2nd in the division, and if they lose in regulation, they take 3rd. So Team Finland just had enough to say about it here at this year's tournament to complicate things. Same alongside Latvia, who had 2 games, 1 in overtime, and we are about set to get things going here tonight, friends. They will have one last chat with the panel here, will James Duthie, with 3.5 minutes to go until puck drop between Canada and Team USA this evening. Thank you for spending the pregame portion with me. I do appreciate it. I know maybe not exactly what you were hoping for, but at the end of the day, give you something is better than nothing, at least is the way I've always viewed YouTube and viewed the broadcasting world, is getting something up, as long as it's serviceable, is a better result than getting nothing out of the game for sure. And I think that's where kind of this whole thing started from back in the day, streaming the Cold Lake Junior B Ice and the St. Paul Canadiens down there at the Clancy Richard Arena for Game 2 of the 2018 NEA-JBHL playoffs. So we have Team Canada getting things going, the Canadian flag rolling through the stands right now. Retkov is in the lineup again for Team Canada tonight. Again, no Matthew Schaefer for Team Canada. That is another issue. Team Canada in the Latvia game lost Matthew Schaefer to a collarbone injury. He broke it. He'll be out of the lineup in juniors for a little while here in his draft year. It'll be a tough go as Team Canada hits the ice here for action against Team USA at the Canadian Tire Center. Canada ready to rock and roll what should be a very good game here tonight in action against Team USA. They will hit to the blue line here as we get set up for this evening's final few preparations before puck drop at the Canadian Tire Center, as Team Canada, Team USA set to do battle in the final group stage game of the 2025 World Juniors in what has been a memorable tournament so far. Latvia winning 2 games, upsetting Canada in overtime, and there it is right now, waiting for things to get going here in this first period of play as James Duthie talks things over again one last time with the panel before we get to real action here this evening. 1 minute and a half to go until puck drop, friends, as we are closing in on Canada, the US, and a game in which Canadian goaltending is going to be tested unlike any other game in this tournament. This is the end-all be-all game for Team Canada in terms of the goaltending department, because you would figure if Team Canada can't bust through Team USA tonight and win tonight's matchup, the quarterfinal facing likely Czechia is going to be a tough go, that much is for sure, as I know over on the other side, if Team Canada gets an opportunity, they would face Slovakia, I believe, in the other final, or in the other quarterfinal, if they are number 2 in the group here in Group A. We have 2 Swedish referees, a Latvian referee, and a Finnish linesman. Then one of the Swedish referees is the linesman as well. As we get to Trey Augustine in net for Team USA, 394 goals against average, 879 save percentage, 1-1 record, as Carter George takes in a 2-0 record, 1,000 save percentage, and he's batting 2 for 2 in the shutout department as well, as Dave Carl, the head coach for Team Canada, or for Team USA here this evening, Dave Cameron, the head coach for Team Canada, as we are set for puck drop here tonight, friends. tsn.ca/live, if you are in Canada, is where you can grab the game tonight. A $19.99 per month fee, but hey, get it up, get it going. $2.50 a game for the rest of the tournament doesn't sound that bad now, does it? As the face-off down at center ice here, just about to get underway. The referee talking things over between the squads. Canada in the reds, America in the whites. As we get things going, a face-off, one back by Team USA, fired around the near side boards, in behind to Carter George. He stopped it up a little bit, allowing his team to come at it on the far side boards. America wins it back down low. The United States have it along the near side boards, tapping it to the point again, fired back behind the net for the 3rd time already inside the first 20 seconds, as Canada wins the battle, works it out to center ice, and then flips it in on Augustine. The puck goes a foot wide of Augustine, and Team USA will try and punch it over their own end, but turn it over right at the blue line to Team Canada. And loading back, Nadeau will go back across now for Gibson inside his own zone, as Team Canada will work out a line change here. The puck hops off the linesman, and then Team USA comes away with the puck. Gibson and Molendyk once again a pairing here for Team Canada, as the puck hops off. Gibson's skates inside his own end. A good cut there by Team Canada assistant captain Cal Ritchie to allow the puck to transition out into the neutral zone. Cowan with the puck for Team Canada, working through the middle of the ice, will dart across the blue line and load up the attack now as Baudouin goes in behind the net. He'll go to the far side point. Rolling down the point was Price, tapping in front. A good couple of whacks there for Cowan, couldn't convert on Augustine, and the puck will come flying back inside the Team Canada zone for an icing call right out of the gate. 18:40 to go here in this first period of play, and Team Canada, the attack early, getting a good couple of opportunities here as Easton Cowan in front, whacking away. Price with the shot from the outside, and then Cowan just couldn't quite get the backhand on net, as that was actually Berkeley Catton. I saw the 4, didn't see the 1, as Berkeley Catton from the outside got the opportunity on net. 18:40 to go here in this first period of play. This Team USA squad has some high-powered offensive players as well, so keep that in mind too on the blue line, as this will be a face-off. One back by Team USA inside their own zone. The puck tapped along the near side boards, cut off there by Luca Pinelli, and it'll be worked back out in the neutral zone on the clear by the US. Fired in around the boards off the glass by Team Canada, cleared out again by the US into the Canadian zone. Here's Price with the puck. He'll come up with it inside his own territory for Berkeley Catton. Near side, Luca Pinelli loads him up. Across the line, the give and go work to get the zone entry. Shot towards the net, blocked in front by the U.S. squad. McKenna to the far side, looking to get this puck off the sticks of the U.S. players across the line. They're onside somehow, some way, but turning it over immediately was the U.S. to Berkeley Catton, who will get into the middle of the ice and load up to the far side for Gauthier. Gauthier for the Canadian side, trying to get this through the middle, couldn't do the job, and now coming near side, here's the U.S. across the line. The shot fired, save made by Carter George, his first of the game. 17:45 to go here in this first period of play, as Team Canada off to a little bit of a hot start here, at least to begin action this evening, as they're going to have to remain running hot throughout the hockey game if they want to stand a chance of surviving the American attack tonight. 17:45, like I said, remaining here in this first period of play. Canada, the U.S. in a scoreless hockey game thus far. Face off to the right of Carter George, scrambled to the boards by the Americans, battling along the wall to the front of the net. Team USA a good chance to get it in front. They just couldn't connect the pass. And here's Gauthier across to the far side, across the line. Cataford fires the shot into the glove of Trey Augustine, and then a little bit of pushing and shoving in front. And this is where Team Canada cannot afford to take the extra minor in front for roughing, so they're going to have to be careful there as well. Any power play for the USA will spell trouble for Team Canada here in this World Juniors action. Is that one a good chance across the line, and Cataford just kind of sauced it backhand towards the net, and Augustine snared it with the glove, as we'll have a face-off to his right now here inside the American zone, as Cataford out there trying to get things going for Team Canada. Started as the 14th forward or 13th forward, whatever you want to say, and now kind of getting regular line rotation with Jet Luchenko and Gauthier, as we will have a stoppage in play again, as we'll redo the face-off, as the linesmen and the referees both ruled, hey, we got to redo this one, as we'll draw back into the face-off dot here for both players. The linesman rocks in and gets things going. Working now the U.S. off the draw inside their own zone, trying to tap out. They do it. It'll be fired back down to Augustine, who will dish off to the near side for Biom. Biom across the line into the neutral zone, loads up the American attack, quickly swallowed up by the defense of Canada, who so far through just about 3 minutes has been as solid as advertised in the tournament thus far. Back to the blue line, the USA dancing and dancing around Gauthier, looking to make a pass as the U.S. goes off for a line change, and it's stripped away by a good poke check there by Bo Akey, and Team Canada forces the Americans out to center, as here's the Americans across the line looking to fire the shot towards the middle of the ice, tipped up over top of George in net for Canada, and then the puck takes a hop off the end wall into the glove of Carter George yet again, and we have another puck frozen down here with 4-1 the shots for Team Canada, just slightly into this game. Again, friends, if you are wondering where to watch tonight's action, I will tell you tsn.ca/live. If you are inside Canada, you haven't missed much of the action, sign up for a membership. 1 month costs, I believe we figured out, $19.99. It'll be the best $20 you spend this holiday season, as you get 8 more games, including tonight, the rest of the way home in the tournament, maybe a little bit of Sunday NFL action before you catch the championship games. Icing call up coming against Canada here, and obviously as well, you might be able to catch a lacrosse game or a Leafs, Habs, or Sens game somewhere in the middle throughout the month as well. So again, paying less than $2.50 a sporting event on a streaming service ain't that bad nowadays, given the fact that I guarantee you've watched a niece, nephew, cousin, brother, daughter play a game on a streaming service for about what, $5.75, $6, $10, something like that, as this will be a face-off, one back by Canada inside their own zone, worked over to the near side by Gibson. Gibson turns it over in the neutral zone. This will be the U.S. coming back. Zeimer, one of the leading goal scorers for Team USA, a shot fired wide this time for him. It'll be worked back now by Nadeau into the middle of the ice, worked into the American zone off a board bounce around to the near side. Team USA back to the middle of the ice, as this will be picked up by Moore. And again, Team USA just kind of not getting out of their own zone cleanly enough here to begin this hockey game to really trouble Team Canada, at least early on, as Ritchie steals it away from the Americans at his own line. Ritchie across the blue line, over to Bonk, trying to feeding it back to Ritchie, couldn't quite get it through. And this one will be tapped out into the middle of the ice, as here's 15:48 to go in this first period. Another tip into the zone there by Team Canada, and I believe they are going to rule this one for some reason or another an icing call against Canada. So far both teams really involved in that high speed feeling out process, as Zeimer wired that one just wide. What a wicked release he's got there, as he looked off the Canadian defense and then fired it about 6 inches off the post, as Zeimer leads the tournament for Team USA with 3 shots. Another shot off the face-off there goes wide for the Americans, back out to neutral territory. The Canadians carry across the American blue line for a brief moment. Ritchie couldn't hem it in there, and the Americans will meet it at the blue line, trickle it through traffic, and get it back inside the Canadian zone, as Bonk lightly taps it along the wall to get loaded an attack for Ritchie across the line. Now Ritchie sees Dickinson try to feed it down low to Baudouin. That one didn't work out, and here's Cowan now getting going to the near side for Dickinson again. Dickinson to the middle of the ice, looking for Baudouin. Spinorama in front, trying to drag over to Cowan. Didn't work out, and here come the Americans back the other way across the far side blue line into Canadian territory. 14:58 to go here in this first period of play as the puck's now worked out to the neutral zone again, carried forward by Berkeley Catton. Catton to no avail as the Americans on the near side have swallowed up the Canadian offensive zone pressure thus far, as here's Gavin McKenna trying to figure it out for Team Canada across the line for Berkeley Catton, swallowing towards the net. A puck hits the side of the net as again McKenna fires another puck towards the net, can't do it, back to the blue line. The puck is going to come out of the zone. Gibson gets it there, and it'll be a play by Team Canada to just gently guide it across the line. Pinelli and McKenna kind of make matters complicated for the Americans, not so much so they couldn't escape the zone, and Luchenko will just have to dart through traffic and backhand it in as Team USA doing yet another good job here, standing tall at their blue line, not allowing the Canadians a clean zone entry so far in tonight's hockey game, as we're going to see this one come back into the middle of the ice here, and this will be Team Canada loading up inside their own zone, right up through the middle, across the far side. Luchenko fires to the middle of the American zone, cut off there by the American side. It'll be fired back into the neutral zone rather quickly as both teams tie up right in front of the timekeeper's bench. Luchenko pushing and shoving there for Team Canada as well. Cataford in there. Canada turns it over to the American squad, and it's fired down to Carter George just like that. Near side, Bonk picks this puck up along the far side wall across to Cataford, and this will be worked now into the zone here as Augustine can't cut it off. The Americans though do, and get it out of the zone rather quickly again. Moore across the line here, loading up the attack again to the middle of the ice. Shot fired, goes wide. Not so much so in terms of shots on goal substance in this hockey game thus far. 13 minutes remaining here in this first period of play, guiding across the line. The American player taken down. Here comes Canada loading up the attack now. Minio across the line. He's poke checked last second. And here's the Americans getting to the attack. A chance for Price to defend, and it's a shot off the post for Team USA. A lucky chance goes by the wayside for Canada as they get the better of that one, as this will be Yager. Poke check there at the blue line. Canada starting to show a few cracks in their game as the Americans getting up ice in a hurry here over this shift as a backhand opportunity off the side of the net. George will play it off to Price. 12:22 to go here in this first period of play as Minio will go back to the blue line now, loading across. Cowan will fire this inside the American territory, stapling the man along the wall there. America looking to get out of the zone as the U.S. doing a good job so far, not allowing zone time for Team Canada. Neither team has really established offensive zone possession so far through the first 8 minutes of the hockey game across the line in a 0-0 score. Ritchie trying to drag back to the middle just on the short side, couldn't quite do it. He's battling here in the near side corner. Both teams working along this wall, trying to get this puck going in a positive direction in the near side corner, America's zone, as this is going to battle there. Ritchie looking to get this one going. He will see it worked off the wall there by the Americans, fired back out to the center ice position, and the USA will pick this one up along the far side or near side, tip it inside the Canadian zone. Camera kind of faked me out there, apologies. 11:20 to go here in this first period of play. We will have a stoppage in play as it looks like the American captain Leonard and Cowan will both head to the box for incidental roughing minors here with 11:17 to go in a scoreless first period thus far. Friends, welcome aboard if you're just tuning in here this evening. Glad to have you along for the ride. Again, if you want to stay tuned for more coverage as the World Juniors go on, I encourage you to do that. And as well, for coverage of the Edmonton Oilers the rest of this 2025 year. 2024 was a magical year for the Oilers, and I look forward to 2025 being just as magical here this season. As Riley, again, I wouldn't worry about pirate sites. I would go over to tsn.ca/live, go pay the $19.99. I know it's been a spendy Christmas season, but again, the $20 you spend for $2.50 a game is not going to be is not necessarily going to be the worst spend of money you could possibly do this holiday season. So we're waiting for the game to get back underway. We're just on a quick commercial break here, friends. We are waiting for the first goal of the game as well. You might have expected Team Canada to find a way to give up a goal early in this one just to make it interesting, but so far they haven't, as we currently sit now with score 0-0 as Cowan and Leonard got to the pushing and shoving here along the wall, and obviously that will result in some penalties here at least to get us started here in this middle part of the first period. Thank you for being aboard here, friends, as Epiphany comes in with the good news that Montreal beat the Vegas Golden Knights. That is huge for us Edmonton Oilers fans. We will have Ryan Leonard in the box for Team USA, and we will have Team Canada's Easton Cowan in the box. Face off inside the Canadian zone. Shots are 3-1 for Team Canada so far in this first period. We're just about inside the first 9 minutes gone. Dickinson picks up inside his own zone. Dickinson rolling along the far side boards. McKenna tries to battle this one off the wall as both teams now skating, I believe, 5 aside still. I thought we were going to have 4-on-4 because it happened during the play, but I guess not, as the referees blew it down in different ways. This one comes across the line. There's another shot for the U.S. and a good looking one. Blocker save for Carter George is loading up the attack again. The U.S. trying to get around the defense of Luca Pinelli. Can't do it. Team Canada in behind their own net turns over the puck, and a really almost costly chance there as Carter George again sticks out the blocker, punches it away, and this will be a pass ripped up through the middle there by Gavin McKenna to Luca Pinelli, who is ultimately offside at the American line. So we'll have a stoppage and play yet again here in this one. So Team Canada, Team USA battling it out here in this World Juniors action, at least to begin things this evening. 10:28 to go in this first period of play, and Luca Pinelli looks like he is skating around. Is Luca Pinelli headed to the penalty box here? Not 100% sure. Again, I can't listen to the game with audio. Unfortunately, that does cause copyright issues as well. Pinelli just goes to the bench instead. The camera angles at the Canadian Tire Center sometimes screw with the guy's head, as this will now be Luchenko in the face-off dot here, winning it back off the wall. Team Canada fakes the first clearing attempt and then gets the second one right onto the tape of the American defense inside their own zone as they were retreating back. A hard stapling hit there against the far side wall as here's the Americans across the line. A backhand chance. Rebound in the crease. Cleared away by Gauthier for Team Canada as he'll load up across the line inside the American territory. Now we are exactly halfway gone here in this first period of play as we approach an hour and 40 minutes live on the stream so far, as Team Canada ties up there along the wall, tallying a couple of hits there on the play as well, and Team USA was forced out into the neutral zone. Canada to the far side in their own zone. Minio gives up puck possession, and the Americans will start rolling around with possession inside the Canadian end. Both teams so far to this point, very minimal offensive zone possession, as both teams have played just back and forth transition hockey as we've gone so far through both zones. Back and forth, shot on goal maybe each way, and then that's about it. As I think the shot clock is stuck here, is definitely Carter George has a couple of shots and a saves for so far in this hockey game, as Trey Augustine makes the save as well, and we'll have another stoppage and play here just inside the last 10 minutes to go in this first period of play, friends. Again, if you are new to the channel and you want to stay tuned, see what happens with Team Canada, Team USA the rest of the way home in this tournament, make sure to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. Would love to have you aboard for the rest of the tournament and for that good old Edmonton Oilers action. Come on now, you want to be a part of the Edmonton Oilers 2025 Stanley Cup run, I can tell you that much for sure, so definitely consider hitting that subscribe button here. So we are rocking and rolling here tonight. Oh boy, we've got New Year's Eve plans going. Sorry friends, just a quick text message. Sorry to cut the live stream dead there for a second, but yeah, just sounds like the New Year's Eve plans might have just found me here after all, as we waste our time and get back to action here as the arch rivals. It's the 50th World Juniors meeting for Canada. Canada leads the all-time series 34-12-13 or 34-12-3. Last 7 games, the U.S. has won 5 out of 7. So here we go, friends. Lots of Canadian fans cheering along inside the Canadian Tire Centre down there in Ottawa this evening, as we'll have the face-off for Cal Ritchie and the Canadian top line of Cowan and Beaudoin. Here inside the American zone to the left of Augustine, quickly won there by the Americans, and they'll carry near side inside the Canadian zone. A dump in the near corner, a soft chip allows Canada to come up with it in their own end as Ritchie leads out to Beaudoin. Beaudoin will fire it up off the end of the net inside the American zone, and now Ritchie doing a good job collapsing into the zone to forecheck that puck free for Beaudoin. He pushes it around the far side over to Molendyke as Molendyke walks back to the blue line, fires it down low. There's an American player down in the crease area. A shot towards the net dangerously goes wide for Team Canada as Cowan will, with the American player back up, and a lot of pushing and shoving happening in front, fired that shot towards the net. It ultimately didn't end up happening for anything of substance, and now that allows Canada back into the American zone. Shot fired towards the net there by Canada. Sees the puck go wide of the net again. The shots a premium so far, 3-2 here in this first period. 8:08 to go in the first as the puck's worked out. A scoreless hockey game thus far. America with it in their own zone. The U.S. bangs it off the boards. The puck in the neutral zone. Canada chips across the line. We'll have a stoppage and play. No, actually the linesman whistled. It is good to go, not offside. He had his arm up and then he waved last second as that puck crossed the line as Molendyke comes to the near side. Gauthier sees that puck go wide on a drifting shot by the Americans, and then a big hit in the middle of the ice there will be a tripping call against Canada, as it looked like Stiga got caught by the legs of Dickinson. Down he went. And with that, with 7:40 to go, we will have the first American power play of the evening, as they will try and get things going on the 5-on-4 odd man advantage. And then Cowan just kind of dummied Buem in front of the net, kind of cross-checking him in the back of the helmet, in fact. Cowan a little nasty edge in his game there so far in the tournament, and he's definitely been battling out there for Team Canada, trying to get things going. As all right, here we go, friends. Let's get to it. 7:38 to go in this first period. Pucks fired around inside the Canadian zone off the face-off, as this one will be worked down the left wing. Shot fired towards the net. Troy, don't you worry. That is still in the cards here. We've just got to get through Team Canada's game here. I know Richard and Aaron, I'm sure, are patiently waiting for me to show up once this hockey game gets wrapped up, and then we get to the festivities later on in the evening. They're in Crossfield by the sounds of it, as well, as this puck's back to the blue line now for Team USA. The shot fired, save made by Carter George, who has been dominating so far in this tournament. And there, the shot from the middle of the slot beats him. And Team USA will take a 1-0 lead. 6:58 to go here in this first period of play. Hey, I mean, if the U.S. squad just buries Canada here by the end of the second, maybe I end up in Airdrie sooner rather than later, Troy. I don't know what happens here tonight as the shot. That was a good save made by George, but a poor clearance there by Molendyke, and that allowed the U.S. to walk through and fire the far side shot just inside the post as Cole Hudson walks through the lane and just tucks it in there. What a chance for Team USA to get that power play and then capitalizing on it as well as we get things going here early in the hockey game. As we're up and underway, 6:58 to go here in this first period of play. Like I said, I really do not see Canada coming back if they're down multiple goals here after the first period of play, and now down 1 to begin this hockey game. Kind of leaves them in a precarious situation, at least for now. The face-off at center ice following the goal. 6:57 to go here in this first period of play. Back down to Carter George. It goes across to Minio. So George beat for the first time in the tournament. The save percentage still looking dang good if you ask me. As Cowan over to the far side for Minio. He will lift in from center. In behind the American netminder Augustine as the puck's rolled around to the near side. And this one will roll now again on a dump in by Canada. Through the zone and offside. Price just jumped the line there, as that was a quick jump across the line to go offside. But just again, Team Canada, that first save by George Molendyk with a very poor clear on the power play. And then Hudson walks through the middle of the ice uncontested and fires the shot past George, who's outstretching the arm as he talks to the crowd a little bit with his celebration. And Sam Dickinson just cannot believe that he ended up getting whistled for that penalty, as this one's fired in by Dickinson back on the ice following the penalty, the second goal of the tournament for him, as Yzerman picks up the assist as well for Team USA, the 13th forward, Cole Yzerman tonight. 6:10 to go here in this first period. Puck's on the tape of Bo Akey. He'll get it over to Luca Pinelli. Far side pass for Gavin McKenna, unsuccessful. That allows Bo Akey to get things going around to the near side. Picked up by Pinelli, loading up Berkeley Catton. Catton across the line into the American zone. The shot fired towards the net, just more so trickles on net. And now we have a melee inside the American zone. We have multiple penalties on the play by the looks of it, as Gavin McKenna hands it to one of the American players. And we still have pushing and shoving between Pinelli and Bium, as Akey gets in there as well for Team Canada. And oh my goodness, a little bit of fieriness here as this period continues to wind down in the third here. We'll have a shovel and a scrape, friends, as Cole Hudson opens the scoring on the far side, shot past George. And like it or not, it's 1-0 Team USA here in this one. Again, friends, what I will tell you, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. I don't know if you know the story behind the Edmonton Oilers jerseys behind me, but this is a full-time Edmonton Oilers channel on a regular day, so definitely something you might want to stay around for, considering whether you like Stuart Skinner or not. The Edmonton Oilers are a Stanley Cup favorite once again in the NHL this year, and I'm looking forward to bringing home, similar to what we're doing here tonight, the play-by-play action for you as we look forward to winning, hopefully, a Stanley Cup this year. So, yeah, that is where we're at right now, waiting for this game to get back underway. Nick, if you are in the USA, how you watch the game is via the NHL Network. The NHL Network has been live streaming the World Juniors, as far as I understand so far, this tournament, and that is where you will want to head to find live stream coverage of tonight's matchup for Canada and the USA. So we'll have two players go to the box, one for each time, as Bium and Pinelli will go to the box for Team Canada, as there was a little bit of a melee in front of the net there as Akey came driving in. Pinelli got cross-checked down by Bium, and this will end up being, I think, just a regular old normal situation here. As let's see what happened here with the lineup changes for Team Edmonton Oilers tonight. Is Hyman and Brown on the top line, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Arvidsson remain, Janmark, RNH, Kapanen on the third line, and Skinner, Henrique, and Perry the fourth line for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Interesting here in this regard, as we will have a face-off outside the American zone. Jet Luchenko to take the face-off, as Mark says it's on ESPN Plus as well. There you go. So it's probably available on Hulu as well, as this face-off's won by the Americans, as the puck's going to be fired into the Canadian zone just on a tip outside the Canadian blue line. Big hit along the wall there against Price, as both teams tie up along the end wall. Canada comes up with it to the far side. Cataford gets it battle in there, as here's Minio losing the puck back to the blue line. It goes out of the zone. It's worked now near side for the Americans, who will fire the puck in. This puck worked now back across the line. Cataford fires it down below the goaltender Trey Augustine of the United States, as they try to bounce this puck, pinball it through into the middle of the ice. They do, as this one comes through again in the middle of the Canadian zone, tripping on a broken stick, as a couple of Canadian players in the zone, as this one is backhanded back to the blue line for Team USA. A cut there by the Canadians off an arm. Honestly, they just swung an arm at it. 4:48 to go here in this first period of play. Nice play over by George, bouncing it off the wall. Bonk will come up in the middle of the ice, down the right wing now. Fire off a tip there, off the stick of Tanner Howe as the puck bounces around now the American zone. Canada coming up with a little bit of sustained zone time. The shot fired towards the net, and then off the side of the net, and then a little bit of cross-checking at the side of the net. Frees the puck up away from Augustine. 4:22 to go. Canada gets the turnover in the middle of the ice as a nice play by Braden Yager. Frees it up with 4 and 15 seconds to go here in this first period. The shot fired towards Augustine will be held on to. We'll have a stoppage in play here in this first period of play with 4:09 to go. As yes, I am assuming there are a lot of sports going on. New Year's Eve has become a very popular night for sports here inside North America, that's for sure, and looking forward to seeing what we can do here is obviously as well, the coaching staff for the Edmonton Oilers definitely see that Adam Henrique is starting to struggle in the third line center role, so Nugent Hopkins takes over for him in that role tonight. And with 4:09 to go here in this first period of play, the face-off off the draw will be won by the U.S. Trickled out into the neutral zone off the glass. Canada immediately reloads, taking a hard hit along the wall as Beaudoin near side. America trying to work back to the blue line. The shot fired through traffic as Beaudoin got a tip, but it goes wide. And then the home run pass at the blue line for Canada misses wide. Carter George able to fire it back out into the neutral zone. And here comes Ritchie down the wing, loading up the shot. Save off the glove there of Augustine, and will come back now in possession for the USA. Down the left wing, across to the far side, in on net, off the goal post. You're kidding me, I thought that was in. Whoo, take a breath. That's a huge chance there for the US that goes by the wayside, and that's a lucky break for Team Canada. About 2 of them so far this game. Pass to the far side for Leonard. Goes off a couple of Canadian sticks and out of the zone here with 3:13 to go. Here in this first period of play, across the line, the Americans fire the shot, blocked there by Gibson. Team Canada still having to do it on the back of defense and goaltending despite being down a goal. Carter George swimming around the crease. Canada able to clear out of the zone, one-on-one back the other way. Here's Easton Cowan in on net. The shot fired, save made by Trey Augustine, and now we come back the other way. 2:50 to go here in this first period. This one's picked up by Berkeley Catton across to Minio. Minio will work back into the blue line area, and then at center ice it's chipped in by Canada, and this will be bounced across the line by the States out of their own zone, and picking up now Price off the wall as the U.S. across the line, looking dangerous. Shot blocked there, picking up now Berkeley Catton across the line, in on net. The shot loads, save is made on the Team Canada attack, and now here comes McKenna again. The shot through traffic, blocked there as he just kind of shoots into a blocked lane that he could have seen from a mile away, and the puck bounces off of a stick out into the bench area and out of play. So we have a stoppage coming up here with just over 3 minutes to go in this first period of play. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard here so far. Appreciate ya hanging out tough here as that puck by Beaudoin didn't go off the glove. It actually missed the glove by about a foot. And then that goal post on Carter George, the game could have very well been over had it gone in and not gone off the goal post. So we'll have 2:07 to go here in this first period of play. 10-5 the shots on goal for Team Canada. Winning the face-off, Canada will drive it down deep inside the American zone as playing along the wall is Fortescue, as he'll see Cataford battling in there as well for Canada, as this one's picked up now by Team USA inside the Canadian zone, but Bonk, a good second effort to knock Yzerman off the puck. Yzerman starting to look dangerous here in this game, starting as the 13th forward. Pass is worked down along the near side boards here by Canada. Gauthier back to the blue line, has his pocket picked by Yzerman. Yzerman across the line, dangling, doodling, trying to do something here, and they'll instead dump it down deep inside the Canadian territory. Dickinson over now for Gauthier. Gauthier will lift in to the American zone with a $1:22 to go here in this first period of play. Beam with the puck across to the far side. It'll be backhanded into the middle of the ice there by the U.S. squad, and they'll fire it in down low now to Carter George, who will backhand off the end wall. Gibson over to Molendyke. Team Canada's got to get in gear here late in this first period if they want to get a goal going. As this one across the line, shot fired towards the net, up off of Augustine into the end wall. As this picked up again by Yeager as this one comes back around to the far side. Molendyke leaves it there, loading up now. Nadeau to the blue line for Gibson. Shot through traffic, goes wide. Rebound opportunity in front. Canada overpasses the puck with 40 seconds to go. The U.S. 3 wide in on the attack as Leonard can't pull the trigger. It flipped up on him, and here's Canada trying to get to the attack one more time. As slowly through the zone, Gibson directs over to Nadeau. Nadeau across the line. Dipsy Doodle himself. Shot towards the net. Blockered away there by Augustine back at the blue line. Canada fires it down low as Minio got it below the goal line, but Canada couldn't come up with it as Nadeau lost the battle. 10 seconds to go here in this first period to play. Minio along the end wall. Price with the puck. This will do it for the first period for Canada as the shot save is made by Trey Augustine. 10-11 if you count it. Shots on goal for Canada, and we have Amelia again along the far side boards. Canada wants a piece of someone here as Baudouin's in a headlock. He's got somebody else going as the gloves, I mean, they are close to coming off here on the ice in the Canadian Tire Center as Baudouin's got his helmet off as he throws the player away and kind of intimidates him a little bit there from a standpoint, as well as they'll go to blows again, and they're still throwing hands. And this is something you don't usually see at this World Juniors anymore. It used to be a regular occurrence, but we will have a stoppage in play here to blow down the first period, and we'll get things going, sorted out in the second period. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard here through one period of play. I'm going to quickly run upstairs, grab a bite to eat, grab a break, and be right back here on the live stream. Thanks for being aboard. All right, let's get back to action here, friends. A period for the first period that maybe isn't what the Canadians had drawn up, or maybe exactly what the Canadians had drawn up. Obviously, you're down by a grand total of 1 goal. For Team Canada, that's not too much to overcome, which is a great spot to be at least. I know we haven't had great luck goal scoring here in this tournament so far, but at least to be down less than 2 goals, right? Only 1 goal. That's a huge asset for us right now, because it could be much worse. Again, I would have told you, if we would have been down multiple goals at the end of the first period, I was going to cancel the live stream, go on, enjoy my New Year's Eve plans, because it simply was not going to be worth watching the rest of it. The way this Canadian squad has played the tournament thus far, it's been a very brutal effort to a lot of extents, as Team Canada has struggled at the World Junior level for the first time in a long while to just do the simple thing and score multiple goals in a hockey game where it looks easy, right? I mean, Team Canada's always been a team known for the offense and looking for the offense, and there's a ton of players here that maybe not known so much for the easy, over exaggerated goal scoring that so often the World Juniors are known for. Again, there are some guys sitting at home that could definitely have a say in that, that being a difference for Team Canada, and that too. Matthew Schaefer missing for the Canadian squad since game 2 against Latvia is as well a big time blow to this Canadian squad. It's tough to lose your best defenseman a period into the second game of the tournament, but that is exactly what happened for Team Canada here at this year's World Juniors. So in that right, I guess Canada does, in a little bit of my mind, get a bit of a pass, as whatever you're supposed to do, right? If you lose your best defenseman right out of the gate, that's just overall a very tough situation. And at the end of the day, is you just have to fight through it and make best with what you got. So friends, right now I'm going to take another quick break upstairs quickly to just go grab my water bottle. I'll be right back. Again, if you haven't had a chance yet to hit that subscribe button, stay tuned. We got World Juniors action coming up in the new year still. And by the way, the Edmonton Oilers ain't going nowhere, baby. And as I will tell you, a sign of my faith in this Canadian squad this year, I know I've defended them quite a bit here throughout the tournament. What I will tell you, if Team Canada's down by 3 or more goals at the end of the second period, that will do it for the live stream this evening, simply because I've got more plans to get to, and the sooner I get to my plans, the more time I'm going to get to enjoy with my friends. And I think on New Year's Eve, who's going to blame you for wanting to hang out with your friends and enjoy a good time on a special evening every single year? Glad to have you aboard. With that said, friends, thank you so much for making this a painless experience so far. Obviously, the more you tune along, the more it gets me excited as we get through tonight's action. Canada down 1-0 against the U.S. here in World Juniors action thus far. For Team Canada, Carter George, really not much action in that first period, a save that we would all love for him to have made on that first American goal. But hey, what will we do? We'll just keep going to work, get through it gently, and you know what? End of the day, go out there and hopefully win a hockey game tonight. Cole Hudson scored the opening goal of the hockey game, 2 on the tournament so far. Cole Eiserman's 4th assist. And puck in all offensive zone time. This was kind of a jumbled thing because it was really just rolling around the end wall, rolling around the high points, and no team really got much going. But for Team Canada, nothing in the way of measurable metrics in that first period of play. So again, if you want to blame the goaltender, go ahead. But Team Canada's got to get something going offensively here. So we'll see if they can get that done. Matt, what I'll tell you here tonight, and Carly for watching internationally, I'm not exactly sure what your options are to watch the game internationally outside of Canada and the US. I think if you have access to ESPN Plus in the UK, you might be able to watch the game on there. And as well, if you're looking inside Canada this evening, tsn.ca/live is where you'll find the live stream. $19.99 for a month. Basically, the way it works from there is $19.99 a month buys you all 8 of the rest of the games here in the tournament. Yeah, you missed a period of tonight, but the best is yet to come, right? That's the way we're reviewing it. That's why you want to link to tonight's game. And then you've got the quarterfinals, the semis, and the final, which all together ends up getting you a grand total of 8 hockey games. Plus, if you're in the Sens, Leafs, or Habs region, you can catch a couple of regional games over the next month. So for the $19.99 cost, you're paying less than $2.50 a hockey game by the time it gets going. So we'll see what happens here in this second period of play upcoming. Of course, glad to have you aboard, friends, as we keep you updated with what's going on here in tonight's World Juniors action. It's been a blast so far. Both teams settled in, I guess, at the end of the period by throwing hands and getting nasty in the corner. So that's where we're at. But that's just it, Young, is if anyone had a link to the game, we wouldn't all be sitting here. It's kind of tough in that regard this year. I would be able to live stream the game if it wasn't copyright material of TSN here in Canada. Basically, TSN and the NHL Network, who broadcast this game across Canada and the US, have done a very strong job this year of clamping down on illegal rebroadcasts of their broadcast. So it's kind of where it's at this point. Is TSN and the NHL Network have made sure that they're getting their money's worth for broadcasting the game. That's what it all comes down to. That's why I'm telling you, really your only option this year is tsn.ca/live. If there was another option, I would not have 395 of you along throughout that first period. The lowest amount of people we've had in here at once since the start of the first period is 325. Friends, I have done this a long dang time. I don't know what you know about live streaming and Dolynny TV and the YouTube game, but I've been doing the World Juniors since 2020 at this point, and I will tell you, I have never seen a year worth of craziness here on the World Junior stream so far like this year. So that is because TSN and of course the NHL Network in the States have done a good job clamping down on the illegal rebroadcast of the game, and that really leaves this as your only option if you can't find a stream to the game as the way to stay up to date with what's going on the ice as it basically happens. So we're waiting for this one. The Oilers game gets going tonight as well. Hyman, McDavid, Brown on the top line for the Oilers. That actually sounds like it might end up scoring a lot of goals. Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Arvidsson continue together off a strong body of work. The only line that appeared to be going all weekend long down in Southern California. Janmark, Nugent Hopkins, Kapanen. I like that line, right? I think for Nuge, he's not going to have to do the hard work coming up with the puck. You got the janitor, and obviously you got Cappy in there digging around as well. And then you've got Skinner, Henrique, and Perry as you shelter maybe your 3 most vulnerable players in the top 12 here tonight against the Utah Hockey Club. Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, Troy Stetcher, Brett Kulak, Ty Emberson runs out the rest of the lineup. So as we know here as well, apparently ESPN Plus is live streaming the game here tonight. So keep that in mind as well if you're in the United States. That's where it is right now this evening. So we'll see what happens as we're just waiting. Macklin Celebrini is getting things going here for the Kruger big assist apparently. The second period, friends, begins here in a few matter of moments. I'm not 100% sure when the second period will start. There's no timer or anything, so your guess may very well be as good as mine. We're still waiting for this evening's hockey game to obviously reach an outcome, because for Team Canada, they're down 1-0 to begin this second period. It will be a hard claw back for Team Canada. That much I will tell you is Team Canada's in tough here now, being down a goal. The hope was you were either scoreless, or the hope was you were kind of tied after the first period if any goal scoring did occur. And for Team Canada, that is not the case right now. They find themselves down big here, 1-0. And again, I say big because 1-0 is a big marker to be down for a team that has struggled scoring at all here in this tournament so far against even the bad teams. And hopefully tonight things work out in terms of getting things going in a positive direction. Sorry, Linda, I think you meant ESPN Plus. I just saw that and deleted that by accident. But yeah, we'll see what they can do here. Is Team Canada, they've got themselves some work to get done in this second period. If they don't, like I said, if Team Canada is down by 3 or more goals here at the end of the second period, I'll be hopping out and getting on with my New Year's Eve plans. There's really no point sticking around if Team Canada is down by 3 goals going into that third period. Based on everything we've seen in this tournament thus far, it's been a very tough year for Team Canada at the World Juniors. Did they show up with the squad that was going to win it all for them? Maybe not, but you at least expected, as Team Canada usually is, a good treat at the World Juniors so far. And this year it has been some painstaking at times, watching this team struggle to just simply choose the correct shooting lane, choose to put the puck on net instead of overpass it, choose to do the right thing rather than just overcomplicate it, right? There's been how many between the legs attempts on net? There's been how many overpasses by Team Canada at this tournament so far? And we're just hoping tonight they start correcting some of those mistakes and really start delivering us some results. So hopefully for Team Canada this evening we get something going, as we see here. Looks like we've got friends waiting for us here tonight. Maybe we're hoping Team Canada does go down 3-0 at this point. I don't know what to tell you. I don't mean to curse this team, but again, I've got New Year's Eve plans lining up. The text messages coming in, everybody wondering where the heck I am. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and enjoying New Year's Eve as well. What I will tell you, friends, is I'm sure, in fact, with 466 of you aboard here this evening, I'm speaking to somebody from either Alberta, at bare minimum. I understand I probably am speaking to at least 20 of you, or at least somebody from Cold Lake, Alberta tonight. Friends, every year in the smaller communities, and I'm sure in the bigger cities as well, there's volunteer groups that kind of take your vehicle home for you and drive you home on the big nights when drinking and driving could definitely be a huge issue due to, right, either Christmas party season or something like New Year's Eve. So this evening, definitely, if you're using a rideshare service, specifically in Cold Lake, I want to give a huge shout out back home to my friends at Operation Red Nose, getting everybody home safe this evening, doing excellent work out there all holiday season long. I'm hearing the fundraising totals have been pretty impressive thus far, and I'm glad to hear that, as usually those ride services that get your vehicle home as well during the holiday season are usually for a good charitable or multiple good charitable causes within your own community. So again, this evening, if you're out there drinking, enjoying tonight's game, or you need a ride to the next place after enjoying tonight's game and drinking, definitely make sure to call up your local community group that's doing the volunteer rides. Chip them a couple of bucks for the old fare and get them get to where you're going safely, get your vehicle where it needs to be safely, and obviously keep enjoying tonight. Tonight is going to be one heck of a party again. Like I said, for me, you're going to have to enjoy it, because riding a 4+ year sober streak here, clean and sober since August, long weekend 2020 at this point. So definitely, if you're going out there party, have one for me, and let's get this going here this evening, as we're just about to get this second period up and underway between Team Canada and Team USA. Man, do I need a response here. Man, oh man, do I need a response. But is Team Canada going to come up with that response? I don't know. Again, everybody's sitting here at the chat. Everything online is getting things going. You cannot watch the game on TSN Plus. Friends, that is a big thing I got to remind you. You have to pay for the actual TSN network subscription, not TSN Plus. TSN Plus will screw you over. It's only an $8.99, so it's for all their digital games, all the extra NFL content and lacrosse stuff. But Yeah, basically from here on out, you got to get going to TSN 1999 for a month. You get the rest of this game, you get the rest of the quarters, the rest of the semis, the rest of the finals, some other stuff. Let's go. Second period action here in the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa. Team Canada chips along the far side wall, attacking from right to left here in this second period of play as across the line. Dickinson ties it up at the blue line, and he just kind of held tough there and actually indeed won the battle. Team USA forced to work back inside their own zone as Nelson will lose the battle here, and that frees up Tanner Howe, who simply just overskated that puck. Across the line, here's Bume across into the Canadian territory, just rolling around the zone, dodging and ducking poke checks here inside the Canadian territory as it goes to the far side. The Americans will dump it back down deep. Here's Bonk overskating that puck. Dickinson near side to Nadeau, trying to get it out into the neutral zone, backhanding to the far side. And this is where Team Canada here in this second period of play has to take all the negativity from all the fans across the country and just channel it into pure energy here and work it into some goal scoring. Down 1-0 to start this first period or second period of play. They lead the Americans 11-5 in shots. Another hit there along the wall as Canada has committed into the physicality of the game here as this one goes firing back inside the American territory. Canada again just losing a battle with their sticks, and this one will be worked back inside the red and white's territory for an icing call with 18:33 to go here in this second period of play. David, Happy New Year to you, as we definitely saw some snubs this year from Team Canada. There is without a doubt on that, as both teams here had some interesting roster decisions. I think the Americans pretty much made every pick they were supposed to, whereas Team Canada definitely left off some key members that could change the complexion here. One thing changing the complexion is the fact that we are missing Matthew Schaefer, who would have been absolutely dynamite to have on the blue line in a game like this to match against Cole Hudson as this puck goes sailing wide on the shot from the point by Canada. Loading up now, Leonard across the line. He cuts into the middle. It's stripped away from him right in front of Carter George, and Canada able to work it out into the neutral zone. McKenna across the line, far side to Cat, and in on net! Drives off the shoulder of Trey Augustine back to the blue line. Minio loads up the shot, the save made there on the one-timer from the far side point. Again, Price will fire the shot through traffic, and the save made by Augustine as routine save after routine save here in this second period through the first 2 minutes play for Trey Augustine as Team Canada gets things going here in the second period of action. Friends, welcome aboard. Glad to have you along for the ride here on the channel this evening as we roll along what has been a fun hockey game so far, despite another frustrating result through 22 minutes of hockey here for Team Canada. The Edmonton Oilers now officially, I assume, underway in their game against the Utah Hockey Club as we see Mr. Doom jump along the ride here on the live stream as we go. Quickly check that as well. We're rocking and rolling here tonight, friends. 17:56 to go in this second period. Worked out to the far side boards. The Americans will fire it in down deep behind. Carter George leaves it there for Sam Dickinson. He's battling along the wall. He comes up with the puck. He's got it to the neutral zone for Gauthier. The shot's fired in by the Americans on the turnover. Bonk's got it. Ryan thinking of Cole Hudson. That's a good question. I think he's been absolutely electric so far this tournament for the U.S. Across the line now, Dickinson in on the attack for Canada. Gauthier, the shot kicked out by the toe pad of Trey Augustine as this puck will be picked up by the Americans and fired back into the neutral zone. Working there, Cataford trying to keep the man in front of him. It's worked down into the Canadian zone as near side Dickinson kicks it off the boots back to Molendyke. Molendyke sees it work now. Cross the line by Gauthier for Canada. Nadeau misses the puck, and my goodness, if Canada could just stop over skating a puck here in this period, that'd be great. The shot fired from the point, worked in front off the deflection there by Gauthier, trying to hook up with Nadeau. Almost worked out. 16:48 to go as we've gone a little bit here without a whistle now in this second period of play as Nadeau loads up Yager. Yager across the line in on the attack, skating to the outside. The shot off the outside of the glove of Trey Augustine. Another good looking opportunity on net there for Canada as this puck works back across the Canadian line. The Americans pushing back inside the territory before Tanner Howe was able to connect a couple of passes and get it out into the middle of the ice. Here's a shot towards the net there by Yager after crossing the blue line. Couldn't quite get it on net. Now loading up the one-timer. A poor play by Price. Almost cost Team Canada a break back the other way. Easily swallowed up by the Canadian attackers in the neutral zone. Chipping along the far side wall inside the American zone now as Canada rubs the man out. Cowan to the attack. Can't get a stick in the lane. So 15:55 to go here in this second period play. Like I said, we started this second period hot. It is moving along here in this second period as time continues to wind down. I think our last whistle at the 18-minute mark. Block shot in front there by Canada. The U.S. controlling inside the Canadian zone as here's Nelson in the middle. Chop shot towards George. He handles it. Blockered away. Another one-timer loads up. Blocked there by Cowan. Cowan will start skating away down the left wing. Fire it. No, holds on to it there at the point and then turns it now in turn for Cal Ritchie in on the short side of Trey Augustine. The best look Team Canada has had all period. Denied by the belly and the side of Trey Augustine, as that was a beauty of a little move to the inside. And a couple of good looking opportunities here for Canada as finally we have a stoppage in play as Cowan stopped up on a dime. Thought he was going to rifle out around the boards. And then Ritchie tries to go up over top of the ears. And it's just the side there of Trey Augustine that swallows it up. Kind of the arm, kind of the side of the ribs there. And stops the play as 27th overall pick by Colorado in the 2023 NHL entry draft. That man has a goal to his name at the NHL level as here's Cataford to the far side. I'm trying to get a drink here. There's been a lot of action here in this second period of play as this puck battling off the wall. Baudouin will fire down in behind the net. The Americans only 6 shots on net thus far. Again, Canada needed to be perfect in the defense goaltending to have a chance this evening, and so far it has failed them on one little bit as this puck along the end wall goes to the far side, picked up by Bonk. He'll load up Gauthier. The shot through traffic. Penalty upcoming to the Americans. They'll touch the puck as Ryan Leonard takes an extra shot after the whistle from Dickinson, and we will have a power play for Team Canada with 14:46 to go here in this second period of play. 16-6 the shots on goal for Team Canada, and here we go. All of a sudden this effort's got me awake. Let's go. This is going to be a good finish here in this second period, or at the end of the day we just move on with New Year's Eve, whichever comes first. Friends, glad to have you aboard here tonight. What I will tell you is if you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, stay tuned. World Juniors closing out this weekend, but the Edmonton Oilers are not going anywhere in the year 2025. Cannot wait to see what the Oilers do here in the playoffs. Again, friends, if you're looking for the game in Canada, tsn.ca/live. Sign up for the month membership. You'll be good to go. And Mike, welcome aboard. Thanks for being along for the ride here tonight. Rhoda, Happy New Year's to you as well. 14:46 to go here in this second period. The face-off won by the Americans, cleared down into the zone, picked up by Carter George. He'll leave it there for Sam Dickinson. The new look Team Canada power play gets to the attack. Here's lacrosse across the American line with ease. Cowan directed it over to Bonk. Bonk will set up in the bumper position as Cowan drifts into the far side face-off dot. The bumper play setting up. Bonk is battled into the corner as Cowan will fight his way into the boards to keep that puck in. Nice little chip play by Dickinson across to the far side, trying to queue up the one-timer for Cowan was Ritchie as Ritchie gets it back from Cowan right in front now. Bonk over to Dickinson. The shot coming off the pads there of one of the Americans in front on the block, and then a directed play there by Cowan. A little bit too much effort on that pass, a little bit too much intention maybe as he takes his time trying to get it over to Ritchie for the one-timer. Is picked off by the U.S., fired down into the Canadian zone, and Dickinson comes away with it now for Canada, loading back to the blue line, gets the miss. Here's McKenna, one-on-one against Augustine. The shot fired wide over top of the blocker arm, and it's picked up back inside the Canadian zone after bouncing out of the American end by Braden Yager. Yager to the far side boards. He will cut into the American zone, tip it back to the middle of the ice. A good outstretched American glove catches it and able to fire it down back inside the Canadian zone. 13-15 to go here in the second period of play. Molendyk picks it up. He'll skate and pass it over to the far side. Is this one for Retkov with 20 seconds to go. The power play so far not so successful as down the wing. Here's a shot in front. Rebound scrambling around the crease. Down in front is Trey Augustine. Canada jamming away at the puck. And it's a save for Augustine falling on top of that puck as Nadeau and Jaeger got a good look at that in front and just about caused the chaos that scored the goal that would have tied it, as Augustine lost track of it off the right foot and ends up creating absolute chaos inside his own crease, ultimately just closing the pads with in front there, or whatever that name is. I'm going to have to get a second look there at number 14 or whoever that is for Team USA, but absolutely McKenna ripping that shot was a good highlight there as well. But Team Canada, guilty as they have been all tournament of overpassing so far, and this one goes around to the far side, picked up by Price. Team Canada done on the power play, a couple of shots but nothing to show for it, as this one shot through traffic. Rebound in front is cleared out by Team USA again, and this one will come across the line to the far side. 12:36 to go in the second period of play as Team Canada getting the attack going on that power play. Their first real power play opportunity. Team USA shooting one from the point. There goes wide of the net, and Cataford will pick it up, and Canada will transition back the other way. 3-on-4, forced to dump it into the near side corner. Baudouin takes a hit into the wall. Gauthier out there, as well as this new shift comes out and gets going with 12:10 to go here in this second period of play. Back to the blue line. Higgins works it there for Team USA, and it'll be chipped there by Team Canada. Give me a second here. Hold on. Somebody upstairs? You ever had the cat sound like a herd of elephants? Well, that's what was going on upstairs. Everybody running around there just causing chaos. 11:40 to go here in this second period as Team USA up 1-0 here in this second period. Almost halfway through the hockey game, across the line. The good steal there for the States. Save made by George. Tap back down on a high stick. No goal. The refs have whistled down a stoppage in play with the high stick, obviously killing that play for Team USA. Canada just got bailed. I'm going to tell you that. That was a broken play for Team Canada inside their own zone, and ultimately Team USA's Higgins got way too good of a look and then batted the puck down with a high stick right in front as Perreault punches it through George. And we will have this one remain 2-0. Oh my goodness. That one could have changed on the dime. Benny, welcome aboard as we get things going here, friends, on what has been so far a very low-scoring affair. Cole Hudson, a 1-0 goal. Cole Iserman, the assist, as the Coles hook up and get a goal going for Team USA. Right now, we're rolling along what has been a fun hockey game as well. I mean, frustrating as a Canadian fan, but again, you can't take out the entertainment value that is a 1-0 hockey game in which both teams out there competing very hard to try and score that next goal. Team Canada just needs to find a way to do it, because it is going to be frustration city if we fall to third in the group because of not being able to score a goal against the Americans. That was the knock against this team entering the tournament. Basically sitting there saying they can't score against the good teams, and so far Canada proving that, as Jack McBain has tied the hockey game at 1 apiece. Matthias Ekholm gave the Oilers a 1-0 lead. Vasily Podkolzin picked up the lone assist. You'll like to see that, as Vasily Podkolzin definitely picking up points for the Edmonton Oilers is huge. Picking up points for my team, I guess I should say, as this one's picked up by Canada, tipped in by Retkov. To the far side boards it goes as Cowan and Retkov and Ritchie are out. There is a shot by Ritchie. Oh my goodness, I flubbed up on my words, and so did he on the puck, as Cowan can't corral it on the point shot from Minio off the pads of Augustine. Team Canada now with 20 shots in the hockey game, 6 all told for the American side. 10:50 to go here in this second period of play. Mishandled puck at the blue line there by Retkov, and we will see this one tap back inside the Canadian zone by the American clear as to the far side boards off the bounce. Team Canada across the American line as this will be Cowan looking back to the blue line, loading up Molendyk. Molendyk, the pass over to Rekoff. The save made, and Trey Augustine stretches out again. And all of a sudden, for the first time all game, it seems like Team Canada has Trey Augustine on the ropes. Give me a second. Oh, I knew that was coming, friends. My apologies there, but it definitely seems like Team Canada's got an opportunity here to do a little something, but Carson Rekoff will go off for a penalty with 10:28 to go in this second period of play. Q-Ace and the bad penalties at bad times. That's a bad one at a bad time there for Rekoff as he gets caught with, what happened here? What did he get caught with? I think, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking away the goaltender's stick. That makes sense right there. That's a soft penalty in my mind, but it is what it is. It is a penalty at the IIHF level. So Carson Rekoff, unsportsmanlike conduct, interference, whatever the case might be, here in this second period of play, as this will be now Braden Yager having to come out and kill the penalty. The Team USA power play 1-for-1 so far in this evening's hockey game. So they've struck, and they've struck gold as this faceoff's won by the US. We will redo it, however, with 10:26, like I said, on the clock here in a 1-0 USA lead. Rekoff not too all happy with that penalty. Obviously a very tough one to take here in an important juncture of the hockey game thus far, as this one, we'll see what happens, as this is going to be a face-off to the left of Carter George, as this will be a face-off won back by Team Canada, as this will be punched now by Dickinson back through the middle of the ice, as this is fired by Canada all the way down to Trey Augustine. 10:18 to go now in this second period. Time winds down. Canada will have roughly about 8 minutes to work with to get things going in this second period, as Leonard ducks around behind the net. Obviously a shorthanded goal here as well would be a beautiful thing, as Canada has scored one of those. As a beautiful passing play by the USA gets a shot on Carter George and a save made there in this one. So we have a stoppage in play with 9:57 to go here in this second period of play. As loading up, that was a gorgeous passing play there by the Team USA squad to get inside the Canadian defensive layers, and Dickinson able to just kind of keep his toe down, allow that puck to be directed on to the pad of George for the cover-up. Now the stoppage in play, as Rekoff really likes that. He's enjoying that one a lot. It's 9:57 to go here in this second period of play, as the face-off to the right of Carter George. As Team Canada wins it back. Bounced off the end wall as Gauthier will rip it down the length of the ice all the way inside the American zone. Canada trying to get to that puck first. Luchenko does. Luchenko back to the blue line. We'll see it go all the way back inside Canadian territory as Molendyk over to the far side. And Canada will rip it in off the blocker of Trey Augustine as this puck battling on the wall again. Luchenko 1v5. Doing the good job penalty killing here for Team Canada. 9.5 minutes to go. A minute remains in the power play for the Americans. Down the near side boards. That is so lucky to not be a trip. I don't even know what to tell you. And the puck goes out and out to play there off of something right there. So we will have a stoppage here in this second period, as Team Canada hanging on by a thread so far in this hockey game. Obviously doing the job that has kept them where they are, down 1-0 to the US in this game. 52 seconds to go here in the power play for the Americans. Face off to the right of George once more as that puck popped up and out of play just in behind the net on the last shift, as this puck's won back by Canada, fought forward by the US. They turn this puck into possession. Here they come down the left wing looking to pass this puck over for a one-timer queued up. Shot save by George on the tip in front as he falls down. And now the puck back to the blue line, far side. Here comes the USA up through the middle of the ice. The shot over to the near side, looking for the one-timer again. The Americans were cut off there with half a minute to go in the power play. The shot rises up over top of the net as well, as here's Yzerman again to an open area inside the Canadian zone. Yager chasing after it, cut there by Cataford. 16 seconds to go as the power play winds down. For the American side, the one-timer save off the pad of George as the puck continues to stay in American possession. The power play winding down, up over top of the net. The puck goes. 2 seconds remain. That'll do it. 5-on-5. We are back in the middle of the ice. Shot off the end wall there by the USA. 8:20 remaining here in the second period to play as the puck dragged to the middle of the ice. Cut off there by Canada as the Americans continue to crowd the Canadian squad inside their own zone. A Canadian player without a stick as the puck is lifted out into the neutral zone. Here comes the American attack. Back across the line, looking in on net. The shot up over top again. 8:02 to go here in this second period to play. 1-0 the score as both teams struggle squad to score a goal here. 24-7 the shots. The American goaltender has been stressed out here in this period as this one's behind the net, back to the near side, forked out by the Americans to the neutral zone. Across the line, in on attack. The shot, the glove save. George, his 8th shot of the night, his 7th save of the hockey game. As we go to commercial break quickly here, friends, I'll be right back. Again, a reminder, consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. All right, let's do this. They're talking about Cole Eiserman right now as part of the U.S. National Development Team program and the amazing skill he's put on display over the course of the years. It's been an interesting go down there at the U.S. National Development Program over the past several years. They've developed some top-end talent. 20th overall pick by the New York Islanders in the 2024 draft was Cole Eiserman. And friends, we have had a heck of a hockey game thus far. It's been solid on both ends. Team Canada, obviously so far, still very frustrated that they just can't score against a good hockey team. And the USA is exactly that, a good hockey team. So that's where it's at. We're waiting for things to go as we'll see what the cat wants as he's losing his marbles over there on the far side of the set as this comes back off the face-off inside the Canadian zone, chucked off the glass, and it looks like it goes out of play off the glass. So we'll have another face-off inside the Canadian zone as Eiserman, 15 points in 16 games played with Boston University so far this year. He was committed after the development program, didn't go pro with the Islanders this year. So we'll have 7:25 to go in this second period of play as Ritchie draws in for the face-off for Team Canada once more. Inside the Canadian zone, punched back by the Americans as Perreault gets it down low to Leonard. Leonard sees it worked around to the far side point. Now near side it goes for Bium. Bium will play it along the near side wall, try to come up with it again. He did. He tucked past danger of the Canadians as they've taken a penalty here. The shot towards the net, blocked by Canada. The puck picked up with 7:06 to go. We will have a penalty against Team Canada, and Carson Rekoff will go again to the penalty box. He gets the promotion to the top line and promptly takes 2 penalties to go along with it. A tripping call there against Bium, and that's a tough go if you're Carson Rekoff, who just came off the reserve list, got in the lineup last game out against Germany, got onto the top line here tonight, and has now taken back-to-back penalties to cost his team a couple shorthanded opportunities here in this second period. 1-0 the USA leads over top of Canada late in this second period of play as the face-off won back by the USA. Battling along the wall, Dickinson near side. Higgins loads up the shot, the save made by George. And we all have a stoppage in play with 6:57 to go here in this second period of play. $1:51 to go on the power play for Team America as 24-9 the shots on net for Canada so far in this hockey game as Bume over to Higgins. The shot loaded up and the save was made. Looking 5-hole was Higgins as well on that shot. So the face-off worked back now by the U.S. Near side pass and looking back, Higgins to the far side. Bume across to the far side. The shot fired in front. Blocked there by Team Canada. 6:44 to go here in this second period of play as this is punched down by the American side inside their own end as Bume leads out. He'll go near side wing across into the middle of the ice inside the Canadian zone. Shots fired around behind the net to the near side for Higgins. Higgins over to Leonard. Leonard loads up Perreault on the far side for Team USA as the shots fired back down to Perreault, and the Cats causing all kinds of chaos here on the sets. Bume, the shot through traffic. Cat, nope. You gotta go. As this one's gonna be worked by the US off the side of the net here. And back to the blue line it goes as the shot through traffic off the blocker. 6 minutes to go here in this second period. Picked up by the US. Neither team really handling this puck all too well inside the Canadian zone. The shot fired up over top of the net. And it'll come all the way back inside the American territory with 5:47 to go here in this second period. 38 seconds remain in the power play. I guess Cat might want some food, eh? That might be why he's trying to irritate me here. Across the line, it'll be chipped in by Zeimer. Zeimer in the near side corner, battling there for Team USA against the Canadian defense of Yager and Bonk as Molendyke rips it along the boards, gets it out down the ice. 19 seconds to go here in this power play. 5:20 remains in the second period as time continues to wind down in tonight's hockey game. We're already at 7:30, by the way. Across the line and on the attack, the Americans get to it, and a falling shot there. Rebound in front goes wide. Oh my goodness, the glorious opportunities for America here in this one as it goes across to the far side. The shot through traffic off the shoulder of George, up and out of play with 4:57 to go. Charlie, I will tell you, if you're in Canada, friends, tsn.ca/live. Go sign up for the $19.99 a month membership. You'll be able to catch tonight's game, the quarterfinals, all 4 of them, and as well the semis and the finals here at the World Juniors for $19.99. Again, that's a $2.50 game charge. Again, that's pretty good. I know if you're watching your niece, your nephew, your daughter, your son, your cousin, whatever, play hockey at an elite level here in Canada, you're paying a lot more to watch them on a live stream than you would be 8 games at the World Juniors for $19.99 a month. So friends, definitely consider doing that here if you're in Canada tonight. If you're in the US, ESPN Plus NHL Network is where you want to go check it out. As we go here, I'm going to quickly take a second to check things out on the back end of the stream, as we're looking like things are adding up rather quickly as we are up over 900 hours watched. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday night with me. I guess we all got to remember, check the notes there, friends. It is Tuesday night. It's not Friday night like you so often feel like New Year's should be on. It is indeed Tuesday night as we get going here towards the end of this. Now the second period already between Team Canada and Team USA as we continue along in what has been an excellent hockey game thus far. Both teams high level of compete. Team Canada, the plethora of shots so far through the hockey game, and Team USA, the only goal in the hockey game. 4:54 to go. The shot save made by George. Secondary save is made, and then the puck goes out of play off of George, and we'll have a face-off to his left with 4:49 to go here in this second period of play. Last 8 shots in the hockey game do the U.S. have, as they've gone from 24-5 to 24-13. And you know, just like the game against Finland, Canada has that little bit of a let off the steam kind of situation in their game sometimes, and that's what they've done so far here in this second period late. As drawn in for the face-off, Berkeley Catton, the shot save made off the draw there by the Americans, And this one will be worked back out to the blue line. Canada unable to come up with it cleanly, but McKenna starts away nonetheless as he'll drag back, looking towards the middle of the ice. Cut there by Pinelli. The shot, the rebound. Pinelli fires it just wide. At the blue line, Price keeps it in for a brief moment. The U.S. able to work it out. Luca Pinelli in front just missed a glorious chance on the far side to tie this hockey game. Would have been absolutely unbelievable if he did. Across the line now, McKenna loading in on the attack, trying to get against the American defense, which has been noted weak here in this tournament thus far. As offside there at the line, the puck is bouncing around out into the benches. So we will have a stoppage in play with 4:03 to go. Luca Pinelli on a point shot or area shot there from Gavin McKenna. Just cannot get it done as Pinelli got it over to McKenna. He loaded up the shot and then Pinelli drove the middle of the ice and was able to get a rebound off and missed it just by, a foot wide of the net on Trey Augustine. 4:03 to go. 1 goal, 14 shots here in the first 3 games for Gavin McKenna, who just has not quite taken over the way you would have suspected he might. Next year will be a different story for Gavin McKenna, I can tell you that much. Ritchie in the faceoff dot. Rekoff continues his top line spot as this puck's worked in the middle of the ice there across to the far side. Dickinson sees it tipped in by Team Canada, the near side corner. Hensler gets it back to the blue line and it'll go far side inside the Canadian zone on the missed pass by the Americans. Bonk over to Dickinson up the near side point. Again, a reminder, Matthew Schaefer is out of the tournament for Canada following a broken collarbone as Dickinson hauls down the American player, and he is going to go to the box for holding on that play. Another big play in front is Zavoda or somebody's hauled down by Bonk. And I don't know, maybe we have 2 penalties coming up on this play as we have a hold on Dickinson and Zavoda was taken down right in front of Carter George. So with 3:29 to go, the Canadians' lack of discipline in this hockey game starting to be a shining example of why they may just not win, as they are putting themselves in bad position after bad position after bad position as Dickinson grabbed hold and then got the arm extended. Yep, right there after hitting the linesman. He gets the arm extended into the midsection. So we have the penalty upcoming against Team Canada and a power play that will pretty much run out the rest of the clock here in this second period of play for Team USA. 3:29 to go in the second as the face-off won by the Americans. 1 for 3 on the power play so far. The shot through the crease. There was traffic in front on George and he was still able to steer it wide as the shot again blocked by Gibson this time. Team USA, the last 8 straight shots in the game. Is this one across the shot? Save made in front. Actually, sorry, the last 8 of 9 shots, as we forgot about Gavin McKenna's little bit of a wrister there on Trey Augustine that led to the penalty chance. Beam up through the middle of the ice. He will fire in along the far side wing. Hits the tape of Carter George, who rims along the wall. Goes off of a couple of touches and up and out of play with 2:53 to go here in this second period to play. 36 seconds bled off the clock so far in this second period as Hagens came in on net, and what a knee block there by Gibson. That was a big one right there. And then Perreault sees the shot save and the rebound save pushed over top by Ryan Leonard on Carter George as Molendyke had to get that one, as it was a nice tap play there by Leonard up over top of the net. So we'll have this one going behind the net now, picked up by Bonk along to the far side wall. Tapped out by Canada right up the gut there on the clearing attempt, as this will be picked up by the Americans inside their own zone. 50 seconds gone on the power play so far. Loading back up, Team USA across the line. Baudouin trying to kill that one back inside the American zone. They will, as Team Canada goes off for a line change. Team Canada doing a good job here with just a minute remaining in the power play. The D-line's changed, I believe, as we'll have this one across the line now, near side. Tapped off the stick of Zymer. Canada punches it back to the blue line. It escapes the zone right there. 44 seconds remaining in the power play as the Americans have yet to get anything set up here on the power play inside the Canadian zone. Outside of that first little flurry as this one's punched back into the American zone with 30 seconds to go. Team USA looks a little deflated here on the power play right now. 26 seconds remain as the USA will go across to the far side, battling along the wall there. Canada will punch it in behind their own net as Price sees it steered back to the blue line as the puck just weeble wobbled back to the blue line more or less as this one comes back now near side. Yzerman looking to the middle of the ice, loading up the shot through traffic up over top as another scramble in the crease for George leads to nothing. And here comes Canada back the other way as across the line. This will be a shot to the middle of the ice. Save made in front. Rebound in the crease. Scrambling around. Canada looking to fire their shot. Molendyk through traffic has it blocked with $1:15 to go here in this second period play as 1:10 to go in the second period. Near side. Picked up by Cowan. Cowan across the line. Back down low. The shot over top of the net by Nadeau. Desperately yelling for help back is Gibson as they're coming across the line. Here's Yzerman to the front. Save made by George. 50 seconds to go here in this one as this will be picked up now by Team Canada across the line. Cowan looking to make the play. It'll be blocked off there. 40 seconds to go here in this second period of play as the Americans get to the attack once more inside the red-white zone as this will be blocked in front. And now Team USA into the corner with half a minute remaining in the second period to play. Ritchie to the far side. Cut pass there by Nadeau. Cowan across at the top of the zone. He'll leave it for Minio. The shot goes up over top of the net. Minio plays it back down low, and with 14.2 the puck goes out of play. And we will have a stoppage in play here in this one. So we continue to see things develop here in this second period. Team Canada just cannot, for the life of them, bite a goal, bite even a shot that necessarily results in a contested goal or a goal that goes for review or anything. As that one, a shot through traffic, a good looking opportunity, and Tanner Howe just couldn't jam it home under the pad of Trey Augustine. So here we go. Face off. Near side, 14.2 seconds to go. Berkeley Catton sees it one back by the Americans. It'll be out into the neutral zone. It looks across the line here. The shot towards the net goes up off the end wall. 3 seconds remain here in the second period. Shot again, steered towards the net. And after 2 periods of play, we will have a 1-0 score as again Ryan Leonard wants a piece of Oliver Bonk. And Trey Augustine so far has survived a flurry of Canadian shots this evening. 25 plus shots for Canada, 15 plus for the United States. Official count to come, but still the first and only goal of the hockey game. Cole Hudson on the power play from Cole Yzerman earlier in the hockey game's first period. Friends, we'll stay tuned. We'll be right back. I'm going to go take a quick break and get back to you here in a few minutes' time. All right, let's do this, friends. The second period intermission. Well, what do you know? I know about as much as you. Team Canada and Team USA tied at 0 for most of that first period, and then ultimately Cole Hudson broke it on the penalty kill for Team Canada. And then, yeah, indeed, it becomes a 1-0 game because of that, and that is where we have sat ever since, friends. So 1-0, Team USA leads the hockey game here this evening. It has been a fun one here so far for Team Canada and Team USA, I'll tell you that much for sure. Looking forward to seeing what happens here this evening. In terms of material for the Edmonton Oilers, let's see what's happening in here. As do anything else we need to know about? I don't know. Yeah, I think we are good right now as Edmonton Oilers second line leaning on Utah blasting home. The first goal there was Matthias Ekholm as Taylor Hall hating life in Chicago, that's for sure. And I don't think there's anything else except for a second assist on the Matthias Ekholm goal. Well, guess what? Was added for Evan Bouchard. So Evan Bouchard continues to pile up points for the Edmonton Oilers, friends. What is the current score in that game? As far as I see it, 1-1 between Utah and the Edmonton Oilers. They should currently be in the intermission, and they are end of first in the intermission. As we'll go quickly check the goal scoring as Bonk and Leonard got into it at the end of the period, and it looks like Leonard will go to the box for a little bit of physicality at the end of the period as Jack McBain from Dylan Gunther and Logan Cooley, the combination there on the Utah goal. As 15-11 the shots on goal for the Oilers after one period of play. 7-3 the hits for Utah. Face-offs dead even. Giveaways in favor of the Oilers 5-2. And then the block shots also in favor of the Oilers 5-2, 5-3 or something like that. So for the Oilers, Jackson Stober has stymied them quite a bit so far here tonight. And as well, Stuart Skinner, 909 save percentage in the hockey game thus far. So that is where we are currently at this evening. Waiting for this evening's World Juniors action to get back up underway, as we're waiting to see if Team Canada can ultimately come back here in this third period of play now. This game has been zipping, friends. I mean, this game got underway at 6:05, 6:10-ish, and it's already 7:49, and we are in the second period intermission. Just seems like we really haven't had any crazy delays, anything that's really held things up here this evening, which has been to some degree a nice thing, because normally you have some of those stupid delays in a hockey game where it's like, oh, just get this over, and that hasn't exactly been the case here tonight. It's been a quick zipping game, and it's been a good hockey game thus far, and both teams out there with a chance to win yet going into the third period. Like I said, my plan was, if Team Canada was down 2 after the first period, was to head out. If they were down 3 after the second, was to head out, and instead they're down 1 the whole way through, and we'll see if that maintains to be the case the rest of the way in tonight's hockey game, as Team Canada only 20 minutes away from finishing third in the group, maybe second, maybe first. Who knows what exactly happens here this evening, but we'll stay tuned for this Edmonton Oilers and Team Canada doubleheader night here on Dolynny TV, as we get over to the New Year's Eve party stuff later on as well, friends. Again, I'll tell you, if you are going out or you are already out and need a ride home, definitely there are lots of volunteer groups giving rides home to both you and your vehicle here tonight on New Year's Eve. Consider calling one of them up and using their services, donating a little bit of money back into your community, getting your vehicle home safe, getting yourself around town safely, and going out and having a very good night. It's that time of year where obviously things happen, and you don't want to be the reason why somebody is waking up in the new year without a family member. So definitely go out there, be responsible tonight, enjoy the hell out of it. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. be responsible, but go out there and be a maniac at the same rate. Is tonight's a good night? Blow out the year 2024. It's been an incredible year. Let's be honest. It has been one for the history books here. The Edmonton Oilers within a goal of winning the Stanley Cup this year. Obviously, we've had some fun times doing some other stuff with sports. It's been a good year overall, and I'm looking forward a hell of a year as well at work for myself personally. Let's just say that. We are finally getting traction where we needed traction after all. So loving that and looking forward to being a good 2025. And that said, for you though back home, why am I telling you to be a maniac? Because hey, I'm riding a 4+ year sober streak here. You got to go out and enjoy it for me, right? I'm just going to go grab my coffee upstairs, leave the house, drive, and head over to the party I'm going to, and then, have my coffee and maybe go at some rate, if one of the liquor stores is still open in town, go pick up a non-alcoholic, lemonade or something for the party after the fact, and away we go. But definitely go enjoy a few bevies for me. I'm never going to say don't enjoy a bevy. That's the way it's been my entire life. So I look forward to hearing the crazy stories tomorrow as we recap the Edmonton Oilers game in the morning. A little bit of the old day after stuff. So this is not the championship games, friends. This is just simply the final game of the round robin. Team Canada a chance to finish first in the Group A if they win. Same with the U.S. The complications are for the U.S. with an overtime loss, they finish third. For Team Canada with an overtime loss, they finish second. With a regulation loss, they finish third. So win, lose, either which way, Team USA either first or third as long as the game goes regulation or overtime, whereas for Team Canada, there's a possibility of finishing first, second, and third in action here in Pool A this evening. So we're waiting for things to get underway this evening between Canada and the U.S. for what is this third period of play. We're watching a slug crawl around on the ground right now. Who is not in their right mind ever watched a slug walk around on the old ground after a really rainy day and kind of some whatever days out there? It's definitely a good time as that slug's rolling over to his rock there, his friendly old rock that he slimed up. As we'll see what happens here. Is that was somehow a Wealth Simple ad. Okay, interesting. As we are waiting for this one to get back up underway, Richard, I'm not sure what's dropping out for you. I don't know if TSN or NHL Network's dropping out for you. Hopefully not. Hopefully everybody's streams are working back home. Obviously, if you're paying for TSN or the NHL Network, everything should be working as intended. I'd say that's probably more of an internet issue for yourself, more so than that. As this is where we find ourselves right now, friends, is the Edmonton Oilers, the Team Canada squad, both in action this evening. The Edmonton Oilers, the primary focus, as you normally see here. Again, if you are new to the channel and you want to stick around as an Edmonton Oilers fan the rest of the year, I would consider that. 2025 is our dang year, I tell ya. We're going to go party in Edmonton this spring, this summer, like we never have before. It's going to be an incredible time. Evander Kane coming back fully healthy. New fourth-line center. And of course, as well, guess what else we are going to add? A top 4 defenseman in this Edmonton Oilers team is going to be filled out right beautifully. So cannot wait to see what this Oilers team does, as it looks like the Rose Bowl game, quarterfinal, Ohio State, Oregon, for the college football championship, as that will get underway here, I believe, this weekend, as we see some highlights of Kazakhstan versus Switzerland. If Canada wins this evening, they will face Switzerland in the quarterfinal. If they lose and finish in third, they will face Czechia. If they lose in overtime and finish second, they will face, guess what? Yeah, they'll face Slovakia. So we'll see how this all shakes out when all is said and done after the next 20 minutes of play, friends. I'm going to quickly take an opportunity to go upstairs again, just grab a quick bathroom break, refill the water bottle, and let's get to this. We're about to do the third period here in a few moments. I'm on mute. George, I was echoing your sentiments. Let's go away. Team Canada about to get back to action here in a matter of moments. But as well for Team USA, they do lead this hockey game 1-0. I forgot my water bottle. Gosh darn it. I'm an idiot. Hold up. Let's get this going. All right. Everybody hear me yelling? Let's do this. Team Canada just about to get set to get back to action here in this third period of play. The Edmonton Oilers, well, they should be just about set to get back to action here in this second period of play themselves, as they are still in the intermission. Obviously, Stuart Skinner, 10 saves so far tonight. You love to see it, as the Edmonton Oilers desperately need save after save after save here tonight, because it is going to be one of those nights for the Oilers where they need a desperate winning result here against the Utah Hockey Club. For Team Canada, down 1-0 entering the second period of play. You gotta figure Team Canada can find a way to win this hockey game. I would love to see that. Jackson, of course, friends, if you are just tuning in, this is just a watch-along stream. Unfortunately, TSN in Canada owns the rights to the live streaming. It is copyright material of them. Therefore, if I live stream it, I am doing something a little bit illegal. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to allow it to be what it is. TSN, obviously, if they didn't want to, like in years past, they didn't really enforce the rip-off live stream rule. Well, this year they are, and that's why you ultimately can't find a live stream. Unfortunately, I do feel for you, but tonight I'll bring you through the action. Hopefully, the old Canadian Sylvester Stallone voice gets you going here as Team Canada tries to break this game open by A, first tying it, and then B, second, scoring the go-ahead goal to win it, as we wait to see what ultimately happens here this evening between these two squads. Mike Johnson and Gord Miller directing us through it on TSN. Again, if you want to go over to tsn.ca/live, sign up for a month membership. It's $19.99. It's going to work out. It charges you about $3 per game left in the World Juniors. It'll be well worth your time, I promise you that, as we get towards the conclusion of this tournament. So long as Team Canada finds a way to win. I guess maybe wait until the end of the game at this point, and if Canada wins, then keep going. If they don't, then maybe make decisions on your own from there, and don't let me influence your decisions for you. As we go here to look at the watch time, friends, you've spent over 1,078 hours sitting here watching the channel so far tonight, so I appreciate that, and I guess that means we're not necessarily doing anything too bad here this evening. The play-by-play has been at least somewhat stomachable, as Ryan Leonard will start the period in the penalty box, and Team Canada will start the period on the power play. 20 minutes to win it or take it to overtime for Team Canada. Cowan on the point, off the draw, took the puck. Dickinson through the middle, leaves it there for Ritchie, who took the face-off for Canada, as this one's picked up by Bonk. He'll fire around to the far side boards. Canada darting down the boards. Catton's cut off there by the Americans, and it's stabbed out to center ice. And Dickinson will pick it up at his own blue line down the right wing, now attacking left to right, that is. I should make sure you note that, as it's 19:30 to go here in this third period to play. Half minute gone on the power play. It's all the way back down to Carter George, as Easton Cowan picks it up for Team Canada. This one winding down little by little all night long, and now all of a sudden we're into the final frame of a hockey game that's been a treat all throughout. As this one to the far side, Canada's discipline's been a problem as well, if you're just tuning in, I have to say that. As it comes down to Carter George in behind his own net. George beat on the far side shot, the only goal of the hockey game so far on the power play by Cole Hudson, as Gavin McKenna leads across center. In across the blue line for Team USA. Now here's Yager back to the blue line for Molendyke. Yager down the right wing. The shot loads up to the far side. It goes and misses wide, as McKenna hits the man in the skates, and it'll be bobbled back to the blue line by Team USA. McKenna in a foot race to the near side point to keep the puck alive. The puck will ultimately work all the way down to George, picked up by Molendyke. 18.5 to go here in this third period play. We've already wasted a minute and a half of power play time here, as this puck darts into the near side corner. McKenna battling there, worked out back to the blue line by Canada. Spin move by Yager, over now down low. Canada looking to get to the middle for a dangerous chance. Molendyk through traffic. The shot saved by Augustine. Now to the far side, Nadeau. Back to the blue line for Molendyk. He's going to pass it now near side for Yager. Over to the far side, scores! Canada! Bradley Nadeau! The game-tying goal! It's 1-1 between the States and Canada on New Year's Eve. Baby, we got a hockey game, do we? 18:02 to go. The power play set to expire. And Bradley Nadeau fires home the one-timer that scores the hockey game's first goal for Canada and the game-tying goal that brings us back to what should be an eventful finish now. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. What a shot from Bradley Nadeau right through traffic. He one-times it past Trey Augustine's outstretched blocker, and Team Canada ties this hockey game. They have stuck around on defense and goaltending the whole game. Dave Cameron pretty excited to see that one go in. Nadeau, who's been under criticism all tournament long, sees the puck enter the net and tie the game, which is a huge one for us. You'll see the scoreboard on your screen. It'll even up here in just a moment as Canada fires back in. We've got less than 18 minutes to go in this third period. Now tied, one apiece, Canada, the U.S., as this puck's fired in behind the net. George out to play it. He'll go around to the far side boards. Yager and Molendyk pick up the assist, and it's all the way back into the American zone for an icing call with 17:41 to go here in this third period of play. What a game-tying goal for Team Canada as Nadeau sets up the one-timer. Finally an open look for the one-timer for Team Canada, and Yager makes no mistake on that pass. And Team Canada ties it at ones. So here we go. We will have the face-off inside the Canadian zone. Taking the face-off now is Baudouin for Canada, as Gauthier out there, and I believe as well it would probably be Cataford alongside him, as tying up off the draw. Good work by Baudouin. Gets it back to the blue line, but the Americans keep it on side. They'll go to the far side, loading up the attack, making the man go down to the knee was Baudouin, but ultimately Canada is able to fish it out of the zone. Canada, though, takes a tripping call immediately, and the Americans will go back to the power play here with 17:24 to go here in this third period of play. Team Canada cannot, for the life of them, stay out of the penalty box this evening, and there you have it, another costly penalty for the Canadian side, as we will go to the box here. As I want to see where's the penalty at, as Minio just kind of works over on the back of the neck the American player, and Minio doesn't know what else he was supposed to do with that play, but ultimately he ends up in the box, and the young American fan in the stands having a field day with that, that's for sure. As we go back now to the penalty kill, 2:36 into the third period, as a 2-minute power play now for Team USA will get them a chance in an even hockey game. They're 1 for 4 so far. The lone goal goes to Cole Hudson. It's the face-off for Ryan Leonard against Braden Yager, or is that Braden Yager? I think that might be Yager, actually, indeed. So we'll do this here. A face-off to the left of Carter George. Off the draw, worked back into the near side as Team Canada, capable of clearing it, as Howe hits the mark and hits Trey Augustine down inside the American crease. Bume picks it up for Team USA across the far side, battling it back down low. Here come the States in across the Canadian line to the far side. Ryan Leonard cuts back to the boards, back to the blue line for Bume now. Bume looking across for options. He's got one here near side in Perreault. Down low to Leonard. The shot through traffic goes off the side of the stick, and that ends up just rolling around back in front. Here comes another opportunity for Perreault back behind the net. He will see it blocked off the stick of Gibson. 16:40 to go here in the third period of play. Near side, Perreault has it blocked there by Gibson again, who's had a couple critical down to a knee moments here. The shot from the blue line, one-timer, blocked there, and it's scooped out by Canada back to the neutral zone. Back now across the line just like that. Here's the U.S. scooping it on this puck. Perreault to the outside. Dragged to the middle, is blocked in front there again by Gibson. And this one will still continue to roll around the Canadian zone. Back to the blue line it goes. Bume to the far side. The one-timer, shot save made by Georgia in front, and this one will come pounding back inside the American zone. Is chasing after it. There was Goche. He couldn't get it going there, as this one will now be Bume back into the middle of the ice, loading up the attack here, as this one goes back to the blue line. Near side now as the shot loading up, looking behind the net. Canada defending well. The shot scored. I thought Beaudoin had blocked it, but there you have it. Nelson unties it for Team USA. It is a 2-1 hockey game with 15:38 to go here in this third period of play. Oh boy. That is tough, as Team Canada, Bradley Nadeau had tied the hockey game on the power play one-timer, and then just a beautiful pass to the middle of the ice, and Nelson rips it home past Carter George, and that unties the hockey game just like that. 2-1 for the United States, as this game continues to turn on a dime here in this third period to play. 15:38 to go now, as we'll have the face-off at center ice here between Canada and the U.S. The draw down, both teams battling at center ice, is Ritchie out there alongside Rekoff and Easton Cowan, as this one down the right wing, as Team USA is going to work it inside the Canadian zone. Minio sees it battled there for Rekoff, back out into the neutral zone. 15:20 to go in the third period of play. Puck is loaded up there by the Americans, back inside the Canadian zone. Minio across D to his partner Price. Price through the middle of the ice. We'll see the Canadians chip it into the near side corner. It bounces off those boards into the far side, where the Americans able to bounce back inside Canadian territory, chasing after the puck. No icing on the play. Dickinson battling along the end wall now, trying to come up with his puck. Oh, from behind the net now. America back to the middle of the ice. The shot up over top of the glove of George goes wide. That is, this game, I tell you, has just picked up a lot of interest. 14:40 to go here in this third period of play, as behind the net, Forsco gets it back into the neutral zone across the line. Team USA onside somehow, some way, chipping it off the boards. Danny Nelson with the goal that makes it 2-1. Catton's hauled down, and there will be a stoppage in the play. Is there a power play upcoming for Team Canada? It would appear so, as Team USA, for the second time this period, will head to the penalty box. 14:21 to go. A slashing call on Berkeley Catton from the U.S. attackers. That one just kind of right into the hands and hauled down the foot of Catton, as traffic was impeded there. And obviously, here's the replay as Cole Hudson goes around behind the net, dishes in front, and Cole Hudson has been a heck of a problem for Team USA here so far in this period, or for Team Canada. Give me a second here. I gotta blow my nose. Still dealing with a slight bit of nasal congestion. My apologies. I don't normally sound near as bad of a Canadian Sylvester Stallone as you're hearing tonight, but I tell you, it is the natural voice. So we are getting going here this evening. 14:21 to go in this third period of play, friends, as Team Canada will take the face-off to the right-hand side of Trey Augustine. Power play for Canada is 1 for 2 in the game so far. And we'll have the face-off won back by the Canadians. Obviously, the Americans have been power play merchants this evening themselves. Why not Canada, as this one comes now near side, back to the blue line. Loading up Dickinson, far side. Canada loads the shot again. Cowan off the one-timer is denied in front, and he will work now down low for Berkeley Catton. Catton down low to Cowan, looking for the pass across the seam, as here's Dickinson over to Catton. Catton walking the shot, save made, rebound goes into the glove of Trey Augustine, and we'll have a stoppage and play with 13:51 to go here in this third period of play. And I need to reply to a text. as that was a couple of good sequences, but the Team Canada power play still struggling for most of the tournament to get wide open, good looks on the power play. And obviously Bonk in front trying to scramble that one up as the bumper position right-hand shot. $1:30 to go here in the power play as this one worked off the face-off, goes off the end wall, and it's back out into the Canadian zone as Dickinson loads up. Second power play unit getting going here in a matter of moments. I'm resting their shirt on that. They have the goal for Team Canada as this one's shot down off the end wall, picking up there Ritchie. We'll see it around to Bonk. Bonk keeps it alive for Team Canada. He goes back into the middle of the bumper zone there as across to the far side. The pass goes from Cowan. Cowan at the point, avoids danger, loads up, gets the pass back. Near side, there's the shot from Dickinson, goes wide of the net, and Team Canada unfortunately can't keep it onside. 13:09 to go here in the third period to play. Cowan cutting back as time continues to wind down here on Canada as it has most of the game. Outside of the few seconds they had this game tied, back to the blue line. The one-timer comes in front as it was kind of a deflection pass shot one-timer actually a little bit there, as that was a good little deceptive play by Canada. The one-timer now loads up as Augustine will make the save. We'll have a stoppage in play with 12:46 to go in this hockey game as time continues, like I said, to wind down this evening against Team Canada. As we should be good to go to at least catch some bit of the Oilers game tonight. At least one could hope, as Cowan had loaded up in Dickinson and the one-timers from Ritchie, and still the Team Canada power play very little to show for the puck movement they have sometimes out. Is this one over now for McKenna? The one-timer off the blocker of Trey Augustine, kept in at the blue line by Team Canada. Back over to McKenna now. The shot over to the far side. Pass is cut by the U.S. and possibly a 1-on-2 or a 2-on-2 here for Team USA, and it's cut off by the good stick of Molendyk. Back the other way, 2-on-2 for Team Canada across the line. Yager looks to set up zone possession. Here's McKenna right in the middle, off the post for Gavin McKenna, right on the dead spot in the slot. Never a better shooting spot than there, as Yager over to the far side for Nadeau. Nadeau back to the blue line. The power play now over for Team Canada. We've got 12:05 to go in this third period to play. Price down into the corner. McKenna around back in front of the net, has his pass picked off, and it comes into the neutral zone across the line. Tapped there by Team USA. They will skate across the line and will find the open man. The shot save made by Carter George, and we will have a stoppage in play in our first TV timeout of the period. Friends, again, this is where I appeal to you. If you're new to the channel and you want to sit here and subscribe for not only this, but the Edmonton Oilers stuff as well, I would consider hitting that subscribe button here tonight. It would be greatly appreciated if you did. This evening, we have crossed over 17,500 subscribers, now at 17,535. So thank you to all of you who have tuned in and joined aboard for what is going to be a magical 2025 for the Edmonton Oilers, as we go now to the commercial break and we get a chance to recap the goal scoring here in this what is now third period of play, just like that. And we look here at Cole Hudson from Cole Eiserman being the goal that made this one 1-0 early in the hockey game, and then Bradley Nadeau from Braden Yager and Tanner Molendyk, the goal that tied the hockey game at 1 apiece, and then Danny Nelson from Cole Hudson and Trevor Connolly, as Cole Hudson now up to 8 points in the tournament so far. Absolutely unreal effort from the younger Hudson in tonight's tournament. So here we go, friends. Let's do this. Let's finish this off. We've got just over a few minutes before the midsection of this period. I think just about, I want to say it's somewhere around the 12-minute mark here, last I remember. Brain gets talking about things and forgets things really, really easy. Don't mind me. As Gavin McKenna on the bench, sitting things over, is the face-off now for Ryan Leonard against Jet Luchenko. We've got 11:46 to go here in this third period. Puck back to the blue line, near side to the middle of the ice, covered up by Carter George, and we will have a stoppage in play with 11:37 to go here in this third period to play. Both teams in a battle here to try and outlast Oatville and Outwit. I know that might be the Survivor anthem, but you get where we're going, as this has been a heck of a hockey game so far from both teams as we wind down New Year's Eve. Friends, for some of you out there on the East Coast in Newfoundland, it is just about to hit midnight. Congratulations, have yourself a party, as I know you had it on Tibbs Eve as well, don't you worry. Luchenko will have the face-off here for Canada. 11:37 to go in this third period to play. Face-offs one back by Team USA. They'll dance around the zone inside on Carter George. Pass to the far side. Kicked out by George. Save is made. His, well, now 20th of the night, as this one's back the other way. The shot into the glove of Trey Augustine. And then a little bit of a stick tap there for Augustine for the little bit of a snow job there by Team Canada, as we continue to wait for this second period to wind down, or sorry, third period. What am I talking about? Geez, second period for the Edmonton Oilers. I should stop checking all these stats as we get a break in every bit of action I do. But yeah, for the Edmonton Oilers, obviously they need to get things going here tonight. And for Team Canada, they've got very limited time left to get things going against the USA squad, as we'll have the face-off to the right of Trey Augustine. 11:23 to go here in this third period play. 2-1. The score is Team USA leads, as they have led throughout the hockey game. It's been tied for a few moments at a time, but Team USA the dominant effort here so far, as this one is fired now across the line, picked up by the USA and on net. Penalty drawn, goal scored, as we have a melee in the corner now, as Carter George was beat a poke after the whistle, and we have a whole scrum developing in the corner as Team USA wants a piece of this. 11:08 to go here in this third period to play. 2-1 the score for the USA. And now we'll try and sort this out, as the referee talking things over and telling everyone how it's going to be. Following a mad scramble into the corner as the US came in on net. Save was made by George, and then a poke there as Team Canada took exception to that. Poking under the glove of Carter George. And we'll sort out the penalties. It has been a penalty-filled affair between these two teams so far tonight. And Team Canada, if they could just keep their cool and keep things under wrap, would probably have a chance at winning this game. But playing the way they have tonight, winning the game seems to be slipping further and further away from them as this game goes along, as Team USA slowly somewhat celebrated that goal on the bench, thinking maybe it's in, maybe it's not. Molendyke will go off for hooking. Do we have anything further on the melee in the corner? We do not. A 2-minute power play for the US with 11:08 to go here in this third period of play. Team Canada now up to 34 shots on the night, and only one goal to show for it so far, as the face-off off the draw down into the Canadian zone. Back around behind the net it goes. Tap to the far side. Canada looks to lift out into the neutral zone and clear into the American end. They do here with 10:56 to go in the third period. $1:46 remains in the American power play, as this one comes around near side across the line, looking back to the blue line, picked up now by Hudson. Back to the blue line again is this one. Thank you for the blessing on the sneeze there. Sorry, I tried my best to cover it up, but oh boy, as this one's coming now. Hudson down the left wing. He's scored 2 power play points tonight, and that pass just doesn't connect for Cole Hudson. So it goes back into the American zone here with 10:23 to go in the third period. Loading up. Here's the US squad across the line to the far side. Back into the middle of the ice now. Picking up, deflected into the corner here by Team Canada, as Team Canada doing a solid job penalty killing so far. Here's Gauthier out there with Luchenko, maybe a 2-on-1 inside the American zone. Luchenko, if he was left-hand shot, might have had a chance at that puck. We are inside the last sixth of this hockey game. 10 minutes to go as this puck's at the blue line here for the US. Back to the blue line. The one-timer loading up. Pass tipped in front there for a little bit of a redirect one-timer instead of the big old wind-up. And this will be chipped out by Canada back down to Augustine with 30 seconds remaining in the power play for Team USA. 9:36 to go here in this third period as this one crossed into the neutral zone. Darting in now. Here's the opportunity. The shot's off the post again. My goodness, I don't know how much more iron I can take in this game. Team USA's parted the Red Sea, went right down Main Street and shot it off the post as this one to the far side. Baudouin fires it off a stick back into the middle of the ice. We have no time remaining on the U.S. power play, their best chance. A shot off the post as this one comes back into the far side corner. Price picks it up, wraps it around to the near side for Cataford. Cataford will bounce it off a couple of sticks into the middle of the ice here near side blue line and picked up by the U.S. across to the far side as they lead into the Canadian zone behind the net. George has to be sharp as that puck takes a crazy hop out of the corner, and now picking up, leading ahead is Gavin McKenna. Loading up across the line. Offside is Team Canada here in this third period of play. We continue to see time wind down, friends. I'm going to take one last quick timeout. I'll be right back as we go to commercial break. All right, let's do this, friends. Team Canada hopping over the benches for a line change. We are about to wind down the final minutes of what is group play here in the 2025 World Juniors. Tony, everybody that just joined the chat, Happy New Year to you. Glad to have you aboard here this evening on Dolynny TV as this one's played back behind the net now for Minio around, sees it picked up by the U.S. as 8:28 to go here in this third period of play. Price will pick it up for Team Canada off the deflection, off the end wall, loading up, backhanded into the zone by Ritchie as it's picked up by the U.S. Ritchie goes hard into the end wall. Gavin McKenna picks this one up, loading up Minio, the shot through traffic. It's blocked in front as the shot again on net. Goes off of somebody in front and goes into the corner. Excuse that. My apologies. That was coming up from running up the stairs there. Is Minio near side now. High point for Price. The shot through traffic. Rebound in front as both McKenna and Ritchie were blocked out by the U.S. defense. And we've got a penalty upcoming here for Team Canada as they will touch up the puck. And again, the discipline in today's game has been absolutely poor from Team Canada. And we will go to the box with 7:51 to go here in this one. Manishin celebrating alongside the bench with his friends as these Team Canada tracksuit people not so happy with that call. And it has been a brutal game from Team Canada in terms of discipline as Easton Cowan comes in and just levels the man into the boards with a big hit. And again, Team Canada, just what are you thinking? What are you doing out there here in this third period? In a game in which you're trying to win, but selfish, untimely penalties here from Team Canada will ultimately be what probably prevents Canada from winning this game overall and winning the group. 7:51 to go as we continue along here in this third period of play. Cowan off for boarding here for Team Canada with the face-off now to the left of Carter George. Team USA, their only 2 goals of the hockey game have come on the power play. Cole Hudson has been involved in both goals so far tonight, so look for him to be a dangerous asset here on the power play for Team Canada as this one's won back by the Canadian side. Bounced off the boards and out of the zone by Tanner Howe, down in to Trey Augustine. We go into the last 7.5 minutes to play here in this third period of play across the line. Team USA in on the attack. Bume to the middle of the ice. He'll get it back from his winger as this will be picked up back to the blue line. Perreault down the left wing, back to the blue line again. Far side pass, the shot through traffic, save made. Perreault again to the far side, the one-timer, save made by George, kicked out, and Yager on his last edge fires it down the length of the ice, down to Trey Augustine. 7:10 to go in the third period. This one's shaping up to be an absolute classic between Team USA and Team Canada. But we need that late Canadian goal, whether it be shorthanded on the power play or with the empty net, to make this one ultimately the interesting game that it should be, as puck along the near sideboards. Now Perreault carrying here for Team USA as this one across the line to the far side. The shot loading, blocked in front, and fired back to the blue line by Team Canada. The one-timer not coming as this one's fired, scored from the point by Team USA. Cole Yzerman scores the goal. Exhale. Team Canada in tough now. Like I said, if Team Canada ever let this become a multi-goal deficit, the game was likely to be over, and now likely it is here in this one, as this is just brutal from Team Canada. Another shot there as Carter George beat on the far side out wide by Cole Yzerman. Ace, if you're still in here, you're going to tell me the exact same thing as he did on that first goal, and that's a tough look for Team Canada, who so far has been able to goaltend and defense their way through the tournament to get to this moment here, but ultimately collapsed because of poor discipline in this third period. And now across the line, here's Gavin McKenna loading up Berkeley Catton, scramble in front, lifted out by the U.S. into the center ice area. 6.5 minutes to go in the third period of play as both teams battle here in the middle of the ice as Team Canada gets this puck back into possession for Price. 6:15 as Cole Yzerman scores his second goal of the tournament on the power play, assist to Bume as the shots fired towards the middle of the ice there by Team Canada in front of Augustine never got through, and Team USA will bounce it up off the boards, and this will be picked up now by Bonk across now for Pinelli. Pinelli over to Catton. Catton looking, spinning, firing, blocked in front. Pinelli gets it back to McKenna. McKenna trying to come up with this puck as time continues to be of the essence here for Team Canada. 5:40 to go here in this third period, and time looks to be gone as Team USA sees the Canadian squad offside at their blue line, and we'll have a stoppage in play here with 5.5 to go in the third period of play. Friends, this is a poor turn of events, but again, I will appeal to you. If you want to stay tuned for more Edmonton Oilers coverage and the rest of the World Juniors so far as Canada goes, consider hitting that subscribe button. And of course, you know what, sticking around for what will be a really fun rest of the year, as we are just about to get into 2025, which means Team Canada and Team USA are about to get going for what will be a really good finish tonight. And then, by the way, guess what? Bang, you've got yourself a situation where Team Edmonton Oilers here is going to go for a ride to the Stanley Cup final and try and win the thing. So we're looking to do that here. But right now, friends, we're just waiting for this hockey game to get back underway from commercial break. As it looks like Captain America, the movie, is in theaters on February 14th. Looking forward to taking myself out for Valentine's Day. Let's go. Let's go here and quickly watch to see what we got going on. We've got a grand total of 1,235 hours on the live stream. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard here tonight. Appreciate you hanging out, everything you've done here on the stream tonight, chatting along. Chat's been moving great. Appreciate that as well. This Canadian team just cannot stay out of the penalty box. That much is for sure here tonight. They have struggled along mightily all throughout it, and now looking to have cost themselves possibly the game because of being undisciplined throughout much of the hockey game. As this one now face off near side, Bonk will fire to the far side. 5:35 to go here in this third period of play. Puck is chipped back into the Canadian zone. Looking here for an icing call, and they get it with 5:27 to go in this third period of play. Team Canada desperately needs a result here in the next minute or two to make it believable, because I do not believe in the last minute and a half that this Team Canada team can go out there and truly win this hockey game at this point. This team has shown to be incapable of scoring a big goal at a big moment so far in this tournament. McKenna in front. Here's Captain, the save made, but the discipline's such an issue tonight. Pinelli looking along the far side boards. 5:14 to go here in this third period of play. Bounced back into the neutral zone by Team USA. We've got just about 5 minutes remaining now as this one across the line. Cut there by the Team USA defense. Picked up, bounced off the boards. And battling here to the corner it goes as Team USA sees a player knocked down. Back to the middle of the ice. Here's Catton stepping around one man. Rebound opportunity there for Team Canada, but they just couldn't get it through cleanly, as this is going to be picked up now by the U.S. squad. Bounced off the corner glass and back inside the Canadian zone. Close to being a whistle on that play, but nothing, as we will have truly probably a whistle, as the clock has stopped at 4:40 here in this third period, as Berkeley Catton just could not beat the blocker of Trey Augustine on that chance in front. And this one has been a tough go here this evening, as Larray, tuning in from Arizona. Appreciate you being aboard for the ride. It's you sure miss hearing the old Canadian accent. Well, I'm telling you, I got the good old bush accent going here, and of course with the stuffed up nasal cavity, it helps out quite a bit as well. 4:36 to go here in this third period of play. Shots fired around the far side boards by the U.S. as time now inside the last 4.5. My goodness, we need to wind things down here for Team Canada by scoring some goals, as here's Gibson along the near side boards to the middle of the ice, cut off by the U.S., and it just seems like they're just going to gut it out and do exactly to Canada what Canada should have done to the U.S. tonight, which is defend and out-goaltend them. But Team Canada ultimately couldn't stay disciplined on the penalty kill there tonight. That cost them, as Rakoff to the middle of the ice, moved to the middle there off the back end of the boards. Shot by Gibson. Tip goes wide as this one comes back. Shot fired through traffic. Rebound in front. Blocked there by the U.S. and punched out back into the middle of the zone. Friends, it's a 3-1 hockey game. I shouldn't feel like it's over, but it most likely over it here for the Team Canada squad. Is Patrick watching in from Pennsylvania, rooting for the U.S., but this is the only way I can watch. Well, I'm glad to have you aboard here tonight. Team Canada has it inside their own zone. Joe's welcome in as well, as this one comes to the near side. Berkeley Catton picks it up. He's going to get a lot of ice time here late in this hockey game to try and tie it up. He's been Team Canada's fourth best forward, or top 4 forward all tournament long, as here's to the middle. Pinelli, the shot through traffic goes up over top of the net. And this one goes back to the middle of the ice. Shot from Price goes up over top of the net as well, as here's Catton battling along the near side wall. Both teams trying to fight this one through. 2:56 to go as the puck goes around to the far side now. Tap back down low, and we'll have a stoppage in play for a whistle against the Canadian player Luca Pinelli. And friends, maybe as Team USA will wind this hockey game down, unless Canada has the Kazakhstan shorthanded magic. I will tell you, right now this game is all but up and done now, with Team Canada taking another penalty, just unable to keep their cool against this American squad. And a big time punch elbow to the head of Hagens there by Pinelli, as he comes in and kind of throws the old elbow up in the chops. And that will pretty much... Oh, that was the glove punch, actually. So tough go. Carly tuning in from San Juan del Sur in Nicaragua. Well, glad to have you aboard, friends. Again, if you want to let me know where you're tuning in from tonight, maybe we'll end it on a cheery note. Get you a shout out back home here for this New Year's Eve. Lindsay, coaching cost this team. Yeah, I think that was the directive right from the start for a lot of media folks, was saying that it was going to be the media, or not the media, sorry, but going to be the coaching that cost this team the victory. And Dave Cameron had an idea of what he wanted this team to be, but ultimately wasted it in getting inside his own head on this one. So friends, wherever you're tuning in from tonight, definitely drop a like. I'll shout you out and we'll get this up and done. Plant's got a penalty here as well, so maybe hold on to that thought. 2:51 to go here in this third period of play. Things about to get interesting as it's 3-1 Team USA. Carter George will go to the bench here in this one. We will have Richie take the face-off, and it will be a 6-man attack for Team USA as there was a delay of game by the bench by Team USA. Here we go, David, welcome aboard. And PD, welcome in as well, as Team Canada is trying to sort things out. And now we can't get things going as John, happy New Year to you from Alberta here, Southern Alberta actually this evening, as the referees trying to sort things out here. It's inside the American zone. I don't know what the delay is. Again, I don't listen with the sound on. Crass tuned in from San Diego, California. Well, hey, sunny California. The Oilers were just down in those parts. Lost both games to Anaheim and Los Angeles. A really rough road trip for my Edmonton Oilers, but looking forward to them rebounding tonight against the Utah Hockey Club, as we got a delay in action here this evening, as it looks like Bonk's going to be ushered to the bench. Nope, the referees are just going to usher themselves over to talk to Dave Cameron. This guy right, Happy New Year from Newfoundland. Yes, indeed. I guess we missed that, friends. 9 minutes ago, it's New Year's Day in Newfoundland here in Canada, as we've got everybody tuning in here as Mike spent the whole game in the penalty box. Yeah, that's been the common complaint here about this game, as this has been a brutal one for sure. Patrick tuning in from Pennsylvania, and other Patrick tuning in from, I think that's Braintree, Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken, MA, as we have the face-off now inside the American zone. 2:51 to go. Thank you for helping me kill the time on the clock here, as this one's fought off the end wall. 2:47 to go here in this third period. USA out to center ice, knifed away by the Canadians. Now the US with the puck. Bume, too much time to shoot that puck. Will think better of it and pass it off. 2.5 minutes to go here in this third period. Cut there at the blue line by Team Canada. Here's Richie in on the attack, driving backhand to the front of the net. Puck goes up over top of the net. You gotta be kidding, as this one's gonna go back into the middle of the ice. The flip there by the Americans, right in on the net. It goes off the side of the post. Team Canada buys a chance there, as that one will stop right there. So we'll have a stoppage in play with 2:15 to go. Buffalo, Happy New Year to you as well, as that puck went off the corner of the outside post. And what a chance there for Team USA. Came within one side of the post. That puck's an exact post length to the other side, and it goes into the net as timeout for Team Canada. 30-second timeout, friends. We will see what happens here in this third period. Thank you so much. Of course, if this is the last few moments you spend with me here on New Year's Eve, thank you so much for spending your New Year's Eve with me. I really appreciate it. By far and above, this is the best World Juniors watch time we have had so far this tournament, so appreciate that. Yeah, Andrew, good evening to you as you're tuning in from Fargo here this evening. Appreciate you being alongside from North Dakota. And David tuning in from Rochester, New York, friends. A lot of Americans tuning in this evening. Appreciate you guys being aboard for this Crazy Canadians live stream of the World Juniors here as we wind down the last 2:15 to go in this third period. Empty net for Team Canada as we try to get this job done. I'll try and do you proud, carry you home here to finish off this evening's action at the Canadian Tire Center. 2:15 to go as I try to get on to my New Year's Eve plans, as well as the face-off down. Canada chopping at it. It'll be the U.S. to the far side, carrying out. Shot towards the empty net, goes wide of the net. U.S. picks it up inside the Canadian zone as this one goes to the far side boards. As Logan, I like to hear that Canada is losing 3-1, but the Edmonton Oilers are turning it around and winning. And here's a bad giveaway by Team Canada, and that will seal it 4-1 with 1:52 to go. Silence tuning in from Houston, Texas. Slammy coming in from St. Louis, Missouri. Friends from the United States this evening, you can walk home the victory. It's 4-1, if not something else like that, here this evening. And that is a brutal finish for Team Canada. A terrible, pathetic effort from Canada, especially in the second and third periods. Obviously, the first period was something special from Canada just to hang with the Americans, but then just a terrible giveaway here by Easton Cowan again, trying to do all too much and gives away the puck in the middle of the slot, and Team USA buries it to take home the victory 4-1, if not a little bit more than that, as we'll walk home what has been a troublesome game here tonight for Team Canada. $1:48 to go here for this one, as to the far side with $1:40 now remaining here in this hockey game. Canada will shoot it in, and friends, that will pretty much do it for an effort that as a Canadian doesn't really inspire you going into the quarterfinals. Team Canada defeated. They look absolutely dreadful out there, as this is going to be a stop at the blue line, and the linesman immediately in there to stop that play from developing into anything, as boosts welcome in, as we've got $1:25 to go. I guess I'll take a second here to check out who has scored in the Edmonton Oilers game, friends, for those of you that tune in and look for that. Hopefully we get this going here, as we'll go 3-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. It's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins from Connor McDavid and Connor Brown, and then Connor Brown and Connor McDavid to Troy Stetcher. So, oh my goodness, Connor Brown, another multi-point night. He has definitely earned that top line promotion for the Edmonton Oilers. As we go down low, as it is Albert Indeed, New Year in Newfoundland, as they've got the 12:14 on the clock right now, and it's January 1st, 2025, living in the future over there. As this one, friends, thank you so much for being aboard here tonight. We're inside the final minute, 4-1 between the U.S. and Canada, as this puck directed into the corner. I do not know if I will have the quarterfinal coverage for you. If Team Canada can survive and get to the semis, I will indeed have that for you. But right now, this one in behind the net, goal line, shot fired there off of Augustine. 36 seconds to go, friends. You know what? The rest of the game doesn't matter at this point. I appreciate you being aboard this evening. Thank you so much. This one has been special. I will tell you for reasons the next time out, but I appreciate you being aboard here this evening, and I cannot wait to get back, hopefully, for semi-final action. I don't want my tournament to be over in the quarters. We'll see what this Team Canada squad has, but for right now, I wish you a Happy New Year. Thank you for spending your holiday season with me. Christmas was awesome. New Year's Eve, well, it's about to get underway here in a matter of moments. From my house to your house, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being aboard here in tonight's action. I don't know what else to say, but again, if you want to come back for the Edmonton Oilers stuff, I would love to have you here on Dolynny TV. 2025 is the year the Edmonton Oilers secure the Stanley Cup, and hopefully so on Canadian soil. The party would be absolutely unreal in Edmonton. Friends, I cannot wait to see you here tomorrow morning as we talk about the Edmonton Oilers game. But to wrap it up, the time winds off the clock. Canada's embarrassing effort against the U.S. ends 4-1 for the U.S. Thank you so much for being aboard this evening. Happy New Year. I am up on out of here.